I didn't even have my mic plugged in or anything. How y'all doing? Welcome back, boys. We got ourselves more 5V5 1v1 duels for the evening. How y'all doing tonight, boys? We got ourselves more Duels EU, boys. It looks like you guys, have one group ready, second one light it up real quick. I'm gonna help you guys get a couple of bodies here in just a moment. How y'all doing? Hope everybody's having a good one. Yo, 11.15 is out in just a handful of days. It is going to be, I think, a great catch-up patch. But yeah, I'm hoping they'll still announce like another set of class tunings for the season. I think they've been doing a really good job like trying to tune things and balance things a little. I would like to see some of the lesser played classes get a little bit more of a leg up, but like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just how these things go. You know what I'm talking about? So hopefully we'll see something like that over these next few days, potentially. I'm gonna log it onto the wrong version of the game. I'm logging into the NA instead of the good old-fashioned EU. Boys, how y'all doing though? Hope everybody's having a good one. Yo, them buffs we got, what, last week or this week? I think it's this week, right? Did we get a bunch of buffs this week too? Am I going crazy? No, we definitely did get a bunch of buffs this week. Do any of them apply for PvP? What's up, Leah? How you doing, fam? We are logging in. Don't worry, I'm hanging on Shadowlands. Don't worry about it. Dude, I was doing the transmog video. I was like, dude, Sorobait? Wait, damn, you need a world quest for it. Oh, it looks so good though. That sword looks so good. And I was just like, oh man, it's not up on NA. How am I going to record? I guess I could talk about it, what you have to do, the steps, but it's like, it'd be nice to show how to get it done, right? And then I looked over on EU and I was like, wait, you guys have it up. Can I go and do it? I'm like, oh no, I never finished the storyline for Shadowlands to even unlock world quests. So I was like, do I have a character that is even close? Turns out the hunter completed majority of the Shadowlands storyline except for like a few chapters in Event Theater. Took me a little longer than I thought. It was like an hour. It was just like, Jesus, dude, that expansion. Just let the sleeping dogs lie, man. Also, why am I survival? Okay, well, I'm gonna go back to BM because this is gonna bother me with the whole talents thing. I'm gonna keep the sword though. I like that thing. That's a fantastic weapon. Let me also get the mix going here, boys. Let me get the mix going. Beautiful. How are we doing on groups? What do we need me? Do we need my help, or are you guys good? Are you guys making the groups together? Let me double check in just a second. But yeah, hope everybody's doing great today. Hey, how many more do we need, man? Raids, legacy. Am I missing a thing? Okay, so we got Plush ready. He got Saya. Do we have Kragar? Do we have Kragar? Kragar is on, but looks like he's playing classic, so I don't think he's streaming today. Johnny needs 3 more. Okay. Invite. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna join in. You can pass me lead, and I can go looking through my BNet friends list. We can get ourselves a couple of bodies here if y'all want to join in. Oh, Azrael. Boomblade? Yeah, hey, wanna join 5v5 Duels? I want to see if Azrael is down to join in, man, because maybe we can get Azrael and Miko together. That'll be swell. Okay, so we got 3 here. We need 2 more. Beautiful. Hell yeah. We're going to be listed over in the LG Raids Legacy as per usual, gang. So if y'all want to join in, let me post exactly how to join in and pin it in the chat real quick. Pin it up against the wall. There we are. Bam. Beautiful. We need 2. We need 2 more bodies. I think we'll be able to get those together pretty easily. Hey, those? See if Cobre is down to join in. I think usually he joins in these. Dadar, I think I asked him the other time. Hawaiian Pride, is that somebody that joins in? Let's see if Dalek's supposed to join in. He's in a pirate right now, actually. So we'll just let him do his thing. I'm gonna guess Young Jay is already in the group. I'm gonna guess, take a wild stab at it. Young Jay, he's already doing this thing. Does Kedem want to join in? Hey, man. Wanna join 5v5 Duels? Kedem used to join these a lot, man. Hold on a second. Hold on a moment. Yeah, it looks like Crackers are doing some classic anniversary stuff. Do they have anything new in classic anniversary? Is that why Kedem is in? Oh, Kedem is already in? No way. Okay. So I'm already barking up the wrong tree. Oh, hold on. Hey, Miko, wanna join 5v5 Duels? Hold on, we got Azrael and Miko. If we can get both of them to join in, because they were trying to join in. Oh, so it's Black and Camo? Let's go, dude. Yo, hold on a second. Miko said yes. Hold on, he's logging off. He's probably going to log on here in a second. Azrael? Sure, why not? Yo, we got Azrael and Miko in here, boys. Oh, my God. I'm going to get them both on the same team, dude. They're going to be teaming up on this one. Holy. That's what we like to see, baby. That's what we want to see in here. Hell yeah, buddy. Get the boys in here. All right, Miko, I'm gonna get you in. I'm gonna getting you and Miko both. Once you log over, where are you at? Boomblade, I'm gonna wait. Let's go, baby. Hell yeah. Hello, push to be okay. Good luck. You're already in the group. Hell yeah, bud. All right, as soon as Azrael logs over off of Boomblade, which I kind of like the name Boomblade. You know what it makes me think of? Booming Blade, the cantrip from Baldur's Gate, or rather Dungeons & Dragons, but they recently added it into BG3 patch 8, which I need to spend some... I need Blizzard to have like the biggest banger of a patch BTR for like 11.15, where they just revamp 12 different specs, right? So then I kind of like, all right, I have a backlog of things I can cover for the next patch for like 2 weeks, so that I can take a step away from WoW in the background and just dive into some absolute endless non-stop BG3, dude. Finish my honor run, test out the patch 8, have some fun with it, then come back in. Hell yeah, bud, I got you in. Got you in, and we're ready. Oh, beautiful. I'm gonna make Leo lead. We are gaming, boys. We are Dalaran Gaming. Spectator match. Johnny boy. And we got Johnny. For some reason, I have a hard time spelling the name. I don't know why. I add always an extra letter, like an extra I. I don't know why, man. We'll start with the grand. The grand. Oh, wait, what? All this time, all this effort trying to get your name right, and I messed up in the first few letters. Hopefully I'm not getting sick, man. You ever just get randomly sniffly? I feel like every time I start the stream, I'm like, okay, now I'm feeling sniffly. Prior to this, I was feeling just fine, a-okay, but now I'm feeling kind of like whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it always happens, bro. I don't know why. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Oh, man. Seriously, what the hell is wrong with me? Swear to God. This is going to be a good one to start things off with, I think. Alrighty, boys. Switch. Got ourselves LOAs coming back in from last week. I like your mog. I like this whole set. The pants in particular, I'm a huge fan of. I actually made a mog over MPTR from our rogue with it, using some of the newer items too. It looks great. Huge fan of that. Saya, love the full trench coat. I'm so glad I did the full grind for that thing. It looks so good, man. Even like in the pants you match with it too. Absolutely just devoid where the legs are. We got Koopa coming back in. I like that. I actually have not been able to do anything to with those like trading post skirts or whatever, but that looks good. We got ourselves Leah. We got ourselves Miko. Where are you, Miko? There you are. Oh, changing things up a little bit. Normally go full challenge mode set with like the horns and everything. Saya first up versus Young. Immediately the mage is gonna have to put the pally in an absolute lockdown. Let Saya run amok for a little long. And he's immediately going to try to see if he can capitalize on it. Stun onto Young, immediate blink, but he does close the gap enough to get himself full damage, full setup going. Full Dawn Light, letting the dot rot. That dot rot actually is so good in 1v1 setting. I feel like the dot rot is okay in like solos from any powers that I've seen, but it doesn't seem to be like super threatening on its own. It can be kind of okay, but in a 1v1 setting where there's not much healing going on, unless you play like a self-healing class, it is really effective. Mages do have plenty of survivability though. Saya making sure to get his licks in whenever he can, does commit towards Young. That is going to be a great invis for a second, big damage reduction, and it's going to be a quick poly. Does get a setup, trinket out for Saya, still got himself a bubble in case he needs to, land hands in case he needs to, forcing a block out of Young, just letting the dots do a lot of that work. You made a guy to that. You made a one-shot build in English, or someone asked for it? Yo, let's go, Toxie. You want to come in tonight? We could probably get you in here, yeah? Last week, dude, you were just like, yo, can I get a game to play? And we were packed, man. I definitely want to get you in tonight as well. And yeah, I would love to see it, man. I definitely would want to see it. I want to see what the hell you do with that thing, because it looks nuts. It looks so good. Assassination looks insane. Big Ray of Frost, bubble out for Saya. Does go for a kick. Actually gets miss it. Young still super low on health. Does get it. So the precog, but it's just not much that he can follow up afterwards with Saya having full immunity. Second block out of Young. That is a lot of trades. For Young, that's a lot of recovery. For Saya still has a lay on hands, but I think this is actually the right move for Young. I don't think there's another way for him to get around this play. Does shrink it out. No kick on Searing Glare, but that blind will no longer be a setup play. As long as he can have a blink for the next stun so he can never get Searing Glared, he's going to be a-okay. All he needs to do is do that. If he can even get catch a blink interrupt as Saya's mid-Searing Glare, that would actually also be really good for him. He could potentially set something up off of that breath. Saya no longer has a trinket. Only has a lay on hands. This could be an opportunity. Hold on, is this a big one shot? Full stun. Saya is actually under a ton of pressure. Whoa, no, the second. Oh my god. He doesn't even go for lay on hands yet. He's still just trying to see if he can live with just his own self-healing. That was a lot of damage taken, but he has no other way to counter it. He just doesn't have any counters. Young continuing to pelt him with a bunch of glances. It's just going to be more flurries, but still, look at the paladin damage, man. The constant pressure. The constant sustain is just absolutely unplayable. Or rather, it's like uncounterable. Once you get the dot on you, it's over. It's there. Sabo. Point Sabo. Is that Sabo? Sabo what? Sabo, I don't even know. But Sabo is in on these as a demon hunter this time around. I'm trying to figure out, like, Sabo Tuga? I don't even know what that's supposed to be at the end. I have no idea. I have no clue, but it's trying to see if he can get himself a hunter on the corner. Saya got himself plenty of mobility, trying to cycle in. Dawn Lights defensively. That is another huge thing that Pally's can use for 1v1. Again, Pally's, you guys have said multiple times, not great in like team sports, but a pretty great in 1v1 content. The amount of self-healing you can play around for the longevity, the survivability build of a Herald of the Sun is amazing. Does get himself plenty of damage on the Sabo. was trying to see if he can make a play, but Saya with a quick wake of Ash's combo takes him out, wipes him out clean and quickly. Blackie is going to be up next. I love how aggressive Survival Hunters can be, by the way, and I'm expecting this man to go full-on big burst damage. Blessing a take down Saya really early. Does get knocked by a trap out in the open for a moment, but Blackie was not really in a position to follow up there. Does go for a wall, looking to engage, looking to close the gap. Stun into a trinket for Blackie, and Saya just playing defensive here. He just trying to wait out until the next Hodge is available. That or a blind into a Searing Glare, which she possibly still can apply, actually. Blackie taking lots of damage, betting buddies for a second, does go for flank strike. Shuttle right after, I think just trying to see if he can maybe evade or predict like a blind setup combo. Fear of the Eagle doing a bit of decent damage. It's a Harpoon, lay on hands for Saya, does get him some big resets. And for Blackie, he's actually not in a great spot right now health-wise. Still melting to a dot? Yeah, he's still melting to some kind of a dot. First aid, but he does get broken really quickly. Binding shot with a knockback around the corner. That's some combo, actually, but a Wake of Ashes. Yeah, there's just not much you can do to counteract that easily, man. I think if I play tonight, I'll be home late. All right, it's all good, Toxie. Yeah, if you get in, man, we'll definitely want to get you in on these as soon as possible. Kadam is going to be up next, this time as a MM Hunter versus Saya. Bubble and Boppa coming back up and almost available. Trinket back up, and so this Hunter is, this Paladin is back up to full speed right now. This is him back at his peak. The only thing that's holding him behind right now is 24% dampening. Will that be enough? Get him as a marksman. That is a lot of damage. Big burst out in the opener. Got him some big aim shots to crack through the Shield of Vengeance. Does land a stun into a blind right after. Freezing Trap waiting for him. But he is actually blinded with the Searing Glare to the point where even the Freezing Trap is not going to connect. Get him trying to see if he can get himself a couple of those black arrow shots here and there. Volley around the corner. Cyan trying to see if he can close the gap. Blessing protection can be removed easily. Cyan does not have much to really work with here unless he just goes in for a bubble. That is a full turtle shell out of Kenem. Have some potentially decent damage. Silence of Messiah. It's a rapid fire. Oh, wait a second. Did Silence stop him? Hold on. Did the Silence stop the bubble? Or does Cyan not run their one talent that allows him to bubble while Forbearance is up? Hold on a second. Or did kind of just sneak in some of the biggest bursts out there and Cyan kind of greeted it? I'm not even sure. Well done either way. Someone had to shut down the Paladin. Otherwise, like, I was going to run amok. That was going to be Saya's, dude. That was going to be Saya's perfect 1v5 moment there. And Kenem just takes it away from him. But now Kenem is going to be a little behind. No turtle, no heal. Playing against a Frost Death Knight Leo. Got himself a volley around the corner. Rapid fire does connect blind for Leo. Trying to see if he can get him some full setup. Slows completely onto Kenem. He's going to end up got a grip and plus hit him with a grippy hand. Cannot really help that one. Got him some the most about it. Not playing the Remorseless Winter's. No, wait, yes, he is. Yes, he is playing the big Remorseless Winter stun. Kenem just trying to see if he can avoid his best possible stun. Just going to cancel it just so he can get some mobility. Kenem does burn one more wall. That's going to give him a small excel. But he's kind of out of options right now unless he goes in for CC. Big cleaves down for Leo as he goes in for yet another grip. Second cleave. Oh, how many of those scythe cleaves did you get there? Was that 3 in a row? Did you just get the luckiest combos there ever? I feel like he got 3 in a row. Plus trying to see if he can take out Leo very quickly. Drop it down to AMZ. Not a lot of health to work with here. 36% dampening. Not going to make this easy whatsoever. DK, dude, the grippy hand. He literally has a mind of its own. He's just going to grip and plus. She has literally nothing to do with it. He literally can't control it. The hand have a mind of its own. But I think Leo, yeah, does go down. There just isn't much of death they can do. Once a rogue is on him, just continuing to land those shadow strikes and eviscerates back to back. Koopa tried to see if he can go for a bleed build. Plus, just catch him with a gouge into a cheap shot. This is an opportunity for Plus to maybe make some kind of a big play. This could be massive. Big secret technique. Huge eviscerates. Blind to follow. Plus, does see Koopa go for a Cloak of Shadows? I think he's still bled up though, right? Yeah, he definitely still bled up if you get a Rupture on him. As he goes in for a bit of fan. Evasion up for Koopa. Blush also has an evasion. Has a blind. Koopa has a trinket in case he needs to. Blush can still get himself some kind of a setup. Blind into a sap. That's actually worked out really well. Normally you don't really get a proper sap out of a blind. Get another sap. Kidney shot. This is going to be tricky. Gouge to follow. Blush does have a disarm. Does Koopa go in full damage? That is all bleeds. That is everything available. So Blush needs to live. I don't know if he can though. It's just going to be one in Venom. Disarm for disarm. Blush is just melting still. He does have Shadow Blades. He's just going to have a go immediately. First aid to catch up whatever health he can, but doesn't matter. Koopa just goes back in there for the quick Venom. That was beautiful. The amount of damage you did just for 3 targets, 100 million just for 3 players, is some work, by the way. That is some work right there. That is a lot. Let's get another one going, boys. Plush as well as Johnny. Let me know when the boys are ready. We'll get another one going. Holy moly, dude. 100 mil, 3 targets seems like a lot, doesn't it? Johnny is ready. Plush is ready. We'll get another one going. What do we send you guys into? Should we just do like an early Tolveron? I feel like doing an early Tolveron. Normally we go hook point, but I think I want to mix it up just a hair. I promise I won't flashbang you guys though. I won't flash any of you, alright? I promise you. And we won't do Carnage. You guys really didn't like Carnage last week. Really didn't like Carnage. I'm trying to see what other map can we add to the rotation, boys. What do you think? We did Asher Mains a while ago, but Asher Mains seemed like it was way too big. Like that pillar down the middle. Way too big. The classes that can kite, they can just run around there forever. But I want to add more maps into the arena. I don't want to do Mechagon. I don't like that one, personally. Asher Main, I'm a little sus about. You guys don't like Carnage. We used to do the Dragonflight one, Nokudam, but that wall down the middle is also a little iffy. Because kiting classes definitely utilize it to like kite forever and ever and ever. I feel like that slows down the duels. Like, my biggest issue is when the map slows down duels way too much, right? But you can just kind of cheese geometry of a map, cheese a pillar. I'm not a fan of that, honestly. Which? Got ourselves Eloise on that team. We got ourselves Cooper being first up and running with Blaggy instantly rushing him, setting traps. They're right next to each other. Immediately knocked him with a grenade. Trinkets for trinkets. As it's going to be Blaggy getting bled up. Koopa getting punctured with the Fury of the Eagle. Immediate cloak with an evasion. That's a lot of damage he's just committing towards Blaggy, or defenses at the very least. And Blaggy does take a decent bit, but it should be able to cleanse it. Yeah, every time he first aids, he should be able to cleanse majority of it, unless he takes like poison damage from deadly poison, which likely he is. Slipping on ice for just a moment. Blaggy does get a full stun ready to go. For Koopa, he needs line of sight. That or a smoke bomb. Does go for the stab to try to close the gap. Blaggy tried to create as much of a distance between the two. Feint for a second. Big flanking to combine together with the explosive. Does enough damage. Koopa does pick up a little bit of health from Miko using a Warlock Hellstone super early. Full death mark. Everything is available. Blaggy needs a way to remove the dots, but Koopa doesn't care. The bleeds have set in. And all he needs is just to let those bleeds stick out a little bit longer. And does end up taking him out. You gotta love just how strong Assassination Execute is, man. Just putting bleeds on a guy when they get low enough. If the bleeds basically overshadow leftover health bar, like 200% of that health bar, 200% of 10% of their health. So like 20%? Basically, I think it is. It just immediate one shot, immediate kill. Is young. For some reason, every time I see a mage with a fire shield, I'm thinking like, wait, fire? I think it's just because we don't really get a lot of fire mages in general. Koopa does need to recuperate all of his cooldowns here. 30 seconds on cloak, 30 seconds on evasion, which he actually would want to use on a mage with the way the Deathstalker works. Are you Deathstalker? Actually, I'm not even sure. If he is Deathstalker, then there's definitely like that whole cloak shields you for physical damage, evasion shields you from magic damage, versatility to defensives. I really do wish they added like some kind of like an icon so we could see what hero spec they are. You know what I mean? Ray of Frost, immediate silence on a Koopa, chopping a lot of the damage. Does get some down to the Young. Try to go for a poly, but somebody actually stopped the poly. Did you vanish it? Did you vanish the mid poly? I think it might have actually. Big Shiv. Young might be in a bit of trouble if he can't escape. Gouge, but he's still melting down to the dots. The fact that Gouge doesn't break to damage immediately. No, he's a fate-bound rogue, so he's not even deathmark, so he doesn't have the defensive value. But he's trying to see if he can get the dots going onto Young. Something. Oh no, he trinketed. I was thinking someone broke his freeze. Yet another go rogue, but he does freeze him immediately, dude. The random rudes by a Frost Mage can definitely be a little frustrating as a melee class. Does get him some full setup. No trinket available. Koopa does cloak and something breaks his poly before the stun goes through. And that just gives him a perfect opportunity to turn this around versus Young. Just a cloak is enough to force pressure out from Young to go for a full block. Doesn't even use cooldowns there. No Deathmark, no Kingsbane, no nothing. Just absolutely bleeding out the guy completely. Road opener. Just try to let the dots work. It's going to be a trinket just to break out of the silence. Koopa with a pre-feint for a moment. I don't think he's going to get stunned up here, is it? Nah, it is gonna be a lot of shatters. It is gonna be painful. Does have the step to escape at last second before the meteor collapses. Garrotes back to back just to give the pressure on the Young are wild, by the way. They are beautiful. That was a meltdown for that too. And Young might just die unless he blocks it. Shields, they're not helping you. Oh, they're helping you a little. You might be able to get another set of shields. Oh, it just doesn't matter. Just a quick garrote taking him out. Block, I think, was available at that point, right? Or maybe hypothermia debuff was still on him for a few seconds, but doesn't have taken a gouge onto Saba. Kidney shot as he goes in for a trick and trying to see if he can maybe surprise off of that gouge, but the Kidney does let him set up with a shift, trying to see if he can escape Saba. Demon Hunters have plenty of mobility. He's just kind of all over the place though. Evasion for Blur and Saba. Still trying to see if he can get himself a proper setup. Fear to follow does go for a hunt. For Cooper, he's taking quite a lot of damage. The Warlock House will help him stabilize just a little bit. But that hunt damage right down, that is pain. That is just pain incarnate. Maybe sap? Does get a sap. Good thing there's no immolation aura. As a demon hunter, definitely have that up and running at all times. Because at the very least, like if they go for a sap, that puts you in combat. And then it'll be harder for them to really follow up anything. Stun, Koopa might just be dead. Vanish for a second, cheap shot to follow. Do you have any ways out of here? All you can really do is vanish out. Back-to-back cheap shots on the Saba with a disarm. Just try to see if you can escape. I don't even know if you go for the bleed build. I think you just go for the reset. Yeah, I think you just go for a hard reset versus the Demon Hunter. He will still find you. Spectral Sight does let him search for you. You can pre-cloak the stun potentially. I honestly might be the play. Might want to pre-cloak it. Kidney into a garrote. He does it break on himself? No, just very yard. Trinket cloak for Koopa. Just needs a little more, and darkness does nothing. Does it? I'm breaking away a little bit of dots to take him out. Oh, that is beautiful. Sap out onto Koopa. As Plush does get himself a proper setup. Koopa has nothing left, dude. I don't know if there's anything Koopa can do in this situation. I'd be very surprised. Great gouge, but a Trinket out. Plush does not want to let Koopa escape whatsoever. Does have cheat death? Yeah, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. That is rough, man. That is so good. Assassination rogues, man. The pressure with them garrotes and casters is immaculate. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. Do you know how many classes come with this many silences against casters? You gotta love that niche. You gotta love that uniqueness of the spec, man. Gotta absolutely love it. Mikkel is gonna be up next. Still sticking to the Affliction guns though. I love seeing Mikkel on Affliction. Seeing Mikkel on anything that isn't Affy, I get a little bit sad because it's like, for Mikkel, it's just like the Affy Warlock, right? The tagsy that ain't tagsy. It's just like iconic, but it's classic. More to call, Fear to follow, full set of dots. Plus, unless you have a cloak, I think it's over. Does he go Dark Glare? He does go Dark Glare. I think it might do lights. Especially if you get a couple of Shadow Bolt procs here and there, it's over. I think he got a proc or two. Blood's not taking that much damage. I thought he was taking a lot more than this. Does get a lockdown to Mikkel. Dark Pact is able to live through this. Vanish defensively just to give himself a bit of a shield. Mikkel with a mass support does get himself an instant or two. Just needs a little bit more damage. The dots just might set him in. And dots do set him in. Cheat Death doesn't even do anything. He just immediately dies to it. This is going to be rapid fire. Still had a little bit of range. Not quite. Mikkel backing up out of there. Mikkel has no help whatsoever. Playing with fire right now, walking out with a wall. I mean, there's just nothing else for him to do. Aim shot, I think it might be lights. Yeah, there's just not much you can do at that point. He's slowed. You have wall. Unless you have like some kind of way to heal or reset completely, there's just not much you can really do. And Sai is trying to give Ketam an opportunity here to get a bit of a rematch between the two, but also an opportunity for him to recover to get a full honor duel. Because last time Ketam actually got a surprise hit onto Saya. I honestly thought Saya there would have had a bubble. Unless he's just not running that bubble for Baron's talent anymore. Maybe he just got rotated out of meta. Who knows, right? But Ketam definitely did get one up on Saya. I don't know if that'll happen every single time though. Bonding shut down. I don't know if Saya sees it. He's kind of just trying to guess where Ketam is. He's guessing he's on the opposite side of the pillar. That's kind of where he's going to stay at all times. Try to see if he can set some traps. I don't know if Sai can see him. Volley down with a big rapid fire. Does connect shield advantage to keep him alive. Trying to see if he closes the gap. That is going to be Brock's out for Ketam. Does go for a trinket feint for a second. Does over a freezing trap waiting for him. With aim shots back to back on the side. Bloodsucker protection doesn't stop him. Freezing. Does he have a bubble? Is the question. Does he have a bubble? As long as you can remove the Bloodsucker protection, does go for the bubble. Yeah, so Ketam just gotta live. He doesn't have a turtle shell anymore. Actually, I don't know if he can live. Blind, Searing Glare. Yeah, I don't think he can live. He does go for Blessing a Saint. I think he tried to go for a stun on Saya, but it misses completely. I think it's over. I think it's over. Yeah, it is over. I was thinking for a second. Last time Saya did not bubble while bot was up, and he got like removed immediately. But I guess this time maybe he was running it. Your Cooper was fantastic. Look, even the last match, dude. Last match, Saya absolutely pumps damage, dude. Cooper played really, really well. Put about 73 million damage into 3 targets. That's pretty reasonable. Saya put in like 100 mil, dude. That's a reasonable amount of damage that a pally can do in a 1v1 setting. I'm just saying, it's really, really good. I guess what I'm trying to say. That's not a dig at Cooper or anything. Need one? Alrighty, we'll get plus 1 more and we'll be good to go, yeah? Do you need me to join you, plus, to ask around some homies? Or are you just gonna list it up? Let me do this. Let me see if I can get a +1 in here. Was it Kedem? No. Cobre is 3v3 pushing. There was not even a big list of people that I've asked so far tonight. That's a wine during these? Does he? By the way, Del, I don't think solos work for Radar Arena Weekly. They should. Have you tried playing a game or two? I think it should work. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I was under the impression that it would work, but yeah, I have no idea. Let me see if Pascal wanna join. Wanna join 5V5 1v1? Let me see if Pascal is down to join in. I did too, but I didn't get the credit. Okay. Yeah, then it's confirmed that it doesn't work then. I guess it used to be like, I guess maybe there's a specific quest for solo shuffle, and then rated arena means probably like 2v2 or 3v3 like pre-mades. While in a group, okay. Yeah, that would be yeah. Okay, Pascal cannot join us. Yeah, for some reason I thought you'd be able to. Wait, does Rest in Hell want to join in? Hey. If see if he's down for it. Oh, Rick, hold on. Hold on, I can get Rick in on these. Hold on a second. I'm gonna ask both Rest in Hell and Rick. Yo, Rick wants to join in. I got you a guy. I got you a guy. I got a guy. Hold on. Toss me invite plus and I'll suggest Rick real quick. I'll do it. Get me in on that. Yeah. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Get Rick out of these, dude. Rick loves these duels, man. He does really, really good too. He also brings in quite a bit of that much needed warlock flavor. Alright, I toss him in and once he gets in, we'll get another one going. Johnny, are you good? Are you ready? Or do you need a +1 as well? Plus. Beautiful. Johnny. Yeah, we're good. Beautiful. Beautiful. We'll send you guys into a hook point because we missed that one up completely. Anil was dumb, made me second guess myself. Yeah, what I assumed it was like, hey, get a rated arena rating or get honor in a rated arena, and I thought, oh, solo queue is rated, like rated arena, and you can get honor from it. So I kind of assumed you'd be able to do it through solos too. I didn't realize there would be like a different type of. I didn't realize there would be a delineation like arenas while in a group. That means like 2v2 or 3v3. Yeah, I think when it says. So I think when a quest says rated arena, it probably means 2v2, 3v3. But I think when it's a shuffle, I think it would say specifically matches of solo shuffle. So the game and quest don't really, like we think of it as all rated arena, right? Just a different mode. But the game probably has like a very, very specific use case for all of them. And when it says rated arena, it just doesn't mean shuffle. I think it's weird. I think you should be able to do whatever you want, honestly. I think you should be able to do all of it. Praise back, yeah. Yeah, fair enough. I told you, like I played, I play a really good dumb guy on stream, but apparently it's not only on stream, it's also off stream too. Honestly, I think I'm just dumb. I think it's just the way of things. Oh no, Sabo is already charging. Oh no 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 no. Alright, switch. Eloise finally getting a chance to play it. It's going to be versus Sabo. DH versus DH. Does go for meta. Trick it out for Eloise. Sabo with a trick as well. Eloise just flying up in the air. Bombarding Sabo, who is going to hide behind the pillar quickly. He fell rushing over just to make sure he got himself some cover. For Eloise, that is a meta that is still active. I don't really know if you have any more damage you can follow up with a meta. Does have the big fell scarred burst still to go. Fear onto Sabo for just a quick second. And that meta lasts for quite a while, actually, being fell scarred and everything. Sabo going for a meta of his own. Does get hit with an prison. Eloise trying to see if he can counter Sabo whenever possible on the damage. It is going to be a full stun for Sabo with a hunt to follow for Eloise. Potentially an immunity here. Might have to use something in order just to live. That is going to be a lot of dot damage taken. Does go for the, what is it? Nether form? Is that what it's called? Does go for that nether escape though? Into darkness? Is it going to be enough, though, is the question. Does charge in for a second. Needs a stun setup, but Sabo does get himself one more cleave that he needs to take him out with Kupo up next. Sheep shot immediately get the full bleeds on the Sabo. And just going to go for a quick shiv and just run out of there. Darkness down just to live the damage. As Koopa does go for a quick melt, just bailing out of there. That Darkness actually doing a really good job. I felt like Asuna, like while you were in Darkness, your health bar wasn't going anywhere. It was absorbing a lot of that bleed damage. She was getting really lucky with it. But he does have eyes. Does have Spectral Sight. Spectral Sight fixed, by the way, for Demon Hunters, I think is one of the best moves they could have done to make that ability actually like pretty good in PvP. Like previously it was always good, but it was kind of janky to use because you couldn't take damage while you had it. Koopa just absolutely eviscerates him. I think with a cold blood and venom, right? Is that what I saw? Is that what that was? That did a lot of damage there. Blush catches the sap with him. Koopa this time around has trinkets, has cooldowns for it. Is going to go for a full blind, full reset with a vanish versus Plush. Does go for a cheap Plush with a trinket of his own. Koopa trying to see if he can stay on him. Does Phantom Knight him. Is going to keep him dotted. Blind to follow. Neither rogue has a trinket now, so it's really going to come down to whoever has a proper stun lock combo. Gouge by Koopa. Does have evasion early on. Does so much of Plush just to make sure Plush cannot respond whatsoever. And if you get just enough bleed damage onto Plush, I think you're going to be golden. Plush also does go for an evasion of his own. Does someone to Koopa. Vanish for Koopa to make sure he doesn't get kidneyed. Does get a Garrote. Kidney shot to follow. That's his opportunity. Big death mark. Everything is available. Getting those back-to-back coin flips over and over. Plush locking him down. Cloak of Shadows stops the poisons, but doesn't stop the bleeds. I think he needs to stop the bleeding. Oh, wait a second. Does turn it around. It was a Warlock Hellstone just to make sure he gets to recover. That big turnaround by Sub Rogue. Looks like in a tussle. 1v1, rogue to rogue, Assas versus Sub. Sub's got the burst. Sub's definitely got the burst. Assas can definitely bleed out the other target, but subtlety is just on another level, man. Just absolutely on another level. Leo gonna be up next versus Plush. Immediate kidney shot does go for a break with an IBF. Full burst on a Plush with the Riders. Everything is available. Wait, he's not going for the slow Remorse Winter thing with the Pillar of Frost. That's just full natty Frost DK burst. Hold on a second. What talent are you running if you're not running that big Remorseless Winter then? What would you be running instead? I kind of miss the Remorseless Winter stun though. I feel like they should definitely bring them back in the game. Ketem is up next. Last time him and Leo went up after each other, I think it was just Leo walked up and just full burst at Ketem, but he won't have that full, like, big lineup this time around. So for Ketem, this could give him an opportunity as long as he can. I guess he doesn't really need to escape Leo. I mean, I guess you still want to keep your range, but like, actually, I feel like if Leo was running that big burst with a slow in Pillar of Frost that gave you huge remorses, as long as Ketem was like max range from it, wouldn't take any damage. But Leo has a lot more maneuverability this time around. Grippy hand just to keep Ketem up close. Scatter for a second, feign for a moment, is going to get grip back in, got himself a bit of that sack. It's going to be Leo trying to see if he can change up to Ketem. Does get hit with a stun. It's going to be the Eagle joining in, trying to see if he can get some damage in. That's going to be, unless you got a volley, you're not really going to be able to hit the guy behind the pillar. And for Ketem, you might need to set something up. Absolutely getting slowed down to smithereens with the Death and Decays, man. The slow from Death and Decay is huge. Leo trying to see if he can go a little bit of that long turn Bit of a wide angle around that pillar, trying to avoid the freezing trap. Stunner to get him. Has a stricken. Stun back into Leo. Trying to make some damage happen, but the riders are doing a lot of work. Just the riders themselves are doing a ton of damage. Kind of forced into Turtle Shell for a second. Does pop Exil here as well to give himself a momentary wall. Rapid fire may just be enough here. Leo barely the health. Could be anyone's game at this point. Just needs one more hit. Oh, no way. Oh, the cross kill. Oh, the cross kill was beautiful. That was so good between the two. Oh my god. I love that kind of a duel, dude. I love seeing that. Where you're not willing to give up no matter the cost. Kind of does claim victory. But the Frost Death Knight definitely did do plenty of damage to leave his mark. Mortal Coil sent in by Mikkel does get himself a bunch of procs versus Young Jay. He just gotta make sure to get full dots of the Young. The Affliction Warlocks have that? You probably still do, right? The swap challenge where you can swap your dots from one target to another. Or is that even necessary? Because you get a lot of your dots just from like blind curses on a target, right? Does get himself those Shadow Bolt hits though from around the corner. Those things are massive. Between the dot damage and the instant cast Shadow Bolts, this is a lot right now. PvP challenge. Okay. Okay, so it is still in the game. I remember the one, there was like a variation of it back, I think, in MOP, where you could sacrifice a soul shard. And then you would do swap. But instead of swapping, it would just like copy and transfer those dots to a secondary target. I miss that version. Personally. I really miss that version. Mortal Coil into Young for just a second. Tried to go for a kick, but it's going to be juke instead. For Mikkel, doesn't really get the instant cast dots. And is going to gateway really aggressively with a Shadow Bolt right to the face of the mage. The mage is trying to see if he can live the dot damage. Dude, Corruption, Agony, maybe UA in there. That is all burning him down little by little. Those instant cast Shadow Bolts are definitely adding an extra punch into that health bar. Not feeling great whatsoever. For Mikkel, this gives him like a really good position to be in. He's got himself lots of mobility, lots of defenses, but also a lot of the consistent pressure. And whenever he has line of sight onto Young, the Shadow Bolts are really punishing him. And they're really doing a decent job of just eating into that health bar little by little. Does go for a greater invis for a second. Wants to get some kind of a setup versus Mikkel, but he realized that Mikkel still has a human racial. Might just have to go for it either way though. Might have to go for that shadow combo. Barrett, but a Mortal Coil does the trade. For Mikkel, this could be an opportunity. Young still on a run. Got himself the Ultra. Maybe could use it to get some health and reposition versus Mikkel. Does get him in low for a second. Using it to try to see if he can cut across. But the Shadow Bolts continue to eat away, and it does go for a full block. Has a second one available. So that's going to be the reset he needs. But Mikkel definitely has got him on the back foot right now, putting in a ton of pressure into the mage. There really isn't much that Young can do right now, unless he can go for like... Unless he goes for like shatter combos versus Mikkel, jukes a kick. I think that's what he's got to do, is juke a kick or something. Breath, Poly, that's at least going to help set up. Frostbomb, that's going to be huge. Got himself full burst. Meteor down, everything available. Ray of Frost one behind the pillar. Does end up trying to juke him, does get the juke. But Mikkel still trying to see if he can get himself maybe a summon of a new pet. UA is up on Young. I think it's just going to be over. If Young does not get to live this, he needs another set of shields. Or an altar. He's super low. One more Shadow Bolt proc, and it might just be over for him. Does end up reapplying the dots over on the pet instead, or one of the images maybe? But for Young, that is a bit of recovery. For Mikkel, instant Mortal Coil. UA onto Young. I think he just might be lights in. Once he gets a UA on you, I think it might be over. Ultra is the only thing that's keeping Young kind of in play. Interrupted on Arcane, still got fire, still got Frost to work with. But the rot is definitely setting in. Mikkel takes a lot of damage, but a Dark Pact nullifies majority of it. Yeah, there's just not much a mage could do. I feel like Young played that as best as he could. I don't really know a situation where he could have played that better, to be honest. And Mikkel tried to see if he could get a setup versus Rick, playing Demonology, got himself the Paracel versus an Affliction. In a way, they're kind of like both dot classes, right? Except for Mikkel, his dots are real dots. For Rickmeister, his dots are Felguards, Puppy Dogs, Gloomhound. You know what I mean? Like, the pets do constant damage over time. They're kind of like a dot, just a walking dot in a way. Does get himself full Tyrant, Fear on the Tyrant, but that thing doesn't really do much. Tyrant is just to empower all the other pets. Rick with a quick Mortal Coil to Mikkel, there's just nothing you can do. Damage collapses from all the demons all at once. And Rick, all he's gonna do is go through his biggest challenge here, which is Holy Saya. If he can do it, dude, he did it last time. It was really tough for him too. Not easy at all. Tried to go for Dreadstalkers, got himself Wall. That is a very early use of defenses. More port available immediately. Gloomhound is up, does have a port. He doesn't have a lot of help to work with though, I don't think. Reflect, Unless you reflect the stun. That would have been glorious. Bubble out for sight. Yeah, there's just nothing you can do. Absolutely nothing you can do. Yeah, lockdown. That's just rough, man. That's rough. Leo does pick up 2. Well done, well done, well done. Let's get us another going. I gave him an honor duel last time he didn't run him over. Hell yeah, dude. He did give it back to me. Hell yeah, dude. Love seeing honor duels, man. Let's get us those ONYXIA boys, yeah? Johnny, Plush, let me know when you're ready. Johnny, immediately ready. Plush, let me know when you're good to go. If Toxic comes back in, we can definitely get him in here. That'd be wonderful to see that man join in. Ready? Beautiful. Nice. I'll send you guys into like a Dalaran sewers, I think. Send you guys into something like that here. Man, where's my boy Kragar, dude? I mean, it's good that we have enough homies on EU to get some games going. But I miss my boy Kragar, chat. What's up, Jake? How you doing, my guy? Polish up my coffee here real quick. How you doing, my man? Hope you are doing good, bud. We'll get us another one going here. Real quick, like. I tried out soon. Holy shit, I need to tank and more keys. I need that. Tank and more keys. Gyran, start from Muller for Shredder at once. Yeah, dude, assassination scales with the number of mobs you're fighting. So if you have a tank that's like willing to get aggressive and willing to man mode the key, you're gonna have a good time. It's the worst. It is the worst when tanks just will pull like a handful of mobs. So it's like, honestly, once you get into higher keys, tanks have to do bigger pulls. I think you're gonna have more fun there specifically. I do feel like the spec can get squishy at times though, but it's good. I think you like it. I think overall, well, Sin or Outlaw though, because I like Outlaw a lot more than Sin, to be honest. Then again, it's kind of just been like my go-to class for like ever. How are you feeling about one or the other? Young versus Leo, Frost versus Frost, which is one of my favorite matchups just because both of them are so heavy on slows. I felt squishy than Outlaw. Yeah, versatility on Outlaw makes you super tanky. And evasion with the DR, constant cooldown reduction, super tanky. Yeah. Power plus 703. Yeah, exactly. It's so much more fun when tanks do huge pulls, but like if they don't, at that point, just stay law. Just stay law. Bath out for Young, does go for the full poly setup. Leo has full cooldowns rolling, but he can't really commit much to it. AMZ down, having to play defensive, does get a stun with Young, grip right after. The one thing that Leo's gonna have a hard time with, I think, is the blinks. There's only so many stunts he's got, and he definitely does need to get up close and personal with Young to get some damage going. Are you playing the breath build with the death? What's it called? Deathbringer. I feel like I haven't seen Deathbringer in such a long while, but apparently they're simming. Have you seen the Sims on Frost DK Deathbringer? Apparently it's nuts. Apparently it's actually insane. AMS up for Leo, still does get knocked either way. I was thinking we'll stop it. Blink out for Young, so if you got a stun actually, it's gonna be massive. Got himself a bit of damage, picking up a little bit of those blitz here and there. Young got himself shield, still holding on strong, does go for yet another grip. Poly trying to juke it, does get a juke it, does get himself a little bit of damage at the end there. But a full freeze on a Leo. Can IBF out of it? Does go for IBF. Massive scythe cleaving down. Young does get himself the ultra. Those scythes do a lot of damage though. That exterminate scythe is massive. Look at the damage that thing does. Oh my god. For Leo, that's a huge setup. Wait, is Frost back maybe? Hold on a second. Is Frost at that back, boys? Because that scythe hits real hard. Between the actual Deathbringer ability into Scythe to follow up and obliterates, that is massive. Hold on, maybe Frost DKs can be back without needing that Remorseless Witcher slow, crippling talent. It's a great AoE talent, but it's gotta be one of the worst things in a proper 1v1, man. Gotta be one of the worst. As Leo tried to see if he can get himself a bit of a positional here. I think waiting for a cooldown or two. I think he definitely needs to get Young to blink, grip him, or grip, force a blink, and then go for a stun. Trinket immediately for Young. Trying to go for a pilot. Leo does have a human ration to break out of this stun. As long as he has a defensive follow-up, Trinket, AMS, takes no damage. Stun onto Young, does go for a grip, blink, has himself ultra in case he needs to. So for Leo, I think he's just going to wait out that ultra. And then he's going to have himself a proper go here. Young definitely wants to close in, maximize the value of that Icy Veins to do some damage. Leo does get himself some cooldowns rolling in. Slow onto Young. Does go for a grip. I think he blinks it, so he has nowhere to go. Hold on a second. Does another blink. Nowhere to go. Does get himself a breath for a moment. Poly right after, as Leo was building up a bit of damage. I think he's got himself those big exterminate obliterates, but it takes a second for him to actually build it up. Meteor down. I don't know if he has another grip. He's just going to go behind the pillar. Yeah, Young does get to separate, man. It's a bit of a tug of war between the mage and the DK. The mage definitely has a lot of ways to just absolutely stop the DK in his tracks. Does go for the double cleave, but it doesn't do nearly as much damage this time around. Does go for the stun. Trade CCU with Leo. Leo taking big lances back to back. Ultra up for Young. Trying to go for a kick. Does not quite connect. Ledgeborn barely keeping him alive. Needs a kick here. Oh, no, he does not need a kick. He just needs to keep slamming out them damage. He got himself yet another reset on yet another exterminate. You gotta love those scythe resets, though. Every single time we put a death mark on the target as a is it death mark? Pretty sure death mark, right? Pretty sure. As a frost DK, I get blood too. And whenever it gets consumed, you get a scythe, and those scythe hits could have a chance to reapply that mark again on target. And that's what happened there. That's why he got so many scythes back to back. I ain't just not gonna be able to live Saba though. Without an IBF, without like a Lichborn, without some kind of defensive to follow up or breather, it is going to be definitely difficult. But definitely was able to keep his own against a Frosty Mage, where I thought, honestly, for a little bit, like, it was definitely not looking all that good for him for a short bit of time. Garot's out for Koopa back to back. It's going to be Sabo trying to see if he can back up out of there completely. Trying to keep the Rogue at a range, but the Rogue is blood up with something. Definitely dotted up. Was he haunted? Actually, I think he, maybe? No, no. I don't think he was. Does get himself a proper go into a big damage, big envenoms. Oh, the double envenoms are beautiful. Plus he gets the coin flips. It is so perfect. Does go for a quick Garot. Katam trying to see if he can get himself a quick reset. Flare down for Koopa, but still has a lot of defenses. He doesn't have an evasion. That's the only thing he's lacking. Gouge, he has plenty ACC though. If he can get himself a bit of dot damage, cheap shot onto Ketum. Does place the knockback trap in a perfect spot, honestly. Volley down for a second, below a blind just to make sure to get some CC onto Ketum to stop a lot of the damage. Disarm so you can go for a double tap rapid fire into a scatter shot for a second. Freezing trap. He still has double tap for a second. It's going to be, no, double tap gone. Does get himself a normal rapid fire. It does do a decent bit of damage, but not a double tap. So Koopa was able to live it. Smoke bomb for a second. That is going to be a knockback trap, I'm pretty sure, unless it was a charge trap. Just try to see if we can just go behind the waterfall and catch a reset. That is beautiful, man. That waterfall. Definitely got to utilize that as a line of sight when possible. Trinket stone for Ketum. Blood up quite a decent bit. Rapid fire to follow. Koopa with yet another shadow step. I can't swap into the wrong person. I'm so sorry. Bit of a whiplash. I can't believe exactly where I'm at myself. Turtle shell for a second. Ketum with a freezing trap. Dude, it's going to be anyone's game right now. Does he still have a step? He's going to take damage. Kill shot away. Oh, rapid fire. I think it's over. Oh, you still bled? Okay. Okay. I was watching the health bar just like deplete little by little. I was thinking, like, what if he just gets that Roga execute there? Because it's very possible he just might. Gotta be as a full reset away from Eloise. The problem though is Eloise literally sees where he's at. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Does try to see if he can drop down the Sigil of Spite. I think that's what they call it. It used to be Elysian Decree. Every time I want to call it Elysian Decree, but I know they changed it to a proper Sigil nowadays. This is going to be bonding shot, freezing trap around the other side. Volley down, so Eloise is going to take damage. Does get stunned up. This gives Ketum an opportunity to at least back up out of the wall, dealing damage. Stun as Eloise tried to close the gap, but looks like a slow concussive shot was able to slow him down. Try to see if he can just play against the aim shots, but I think the Hunter wins that. He wins the range DPS race, and Ketum claims the second one. With Saya up next. Oh, this is over. Oh, it's over. Oh, it's over. Freezing trap. Saya is just avoiding it completely. Yeah, he's just making sure there's just no way for him to lose at all. It's just done. With those dawn lights, it is done. Is it Rick? Rick's trying to back up out of there just to make sure, like, hey, ain't me, man. Not yet, at least. Blush is going to be up next up. I like that full Season 2 set from Dragonflight, man. That looks good. Green shoulders. I feel like green is hard to make work on rogue sometimes. But that whole Shredder set does look good. I like the helm in particular. I'm not a big fan of helms, but that one looks insane. At least, I'm not a big fan of rogue helms. So I think there's only some good ones. Like, there's one that's like a skull mask from TBC. That one is dope. That's really about the only one I like, honestly. But that Shredder mask is the second one I like. Cheap shot on Josiah. Does get himself shield with a wall for plush. Could go for a trinket. Does burn a trinket with a reset. Blind on Josiah. While Dawnlight is on you, at least that advantage that you did does give you a bit of a shield that could soak up a lot of that Dawnlight. Yeah, unless you can get away from Saya completely, it's just not going to be easy to completely reset it. Does go for a cheap, but it's just not enough damage to follow up from that. Was it the yard? I think it was the yard, right? That felt like the shortest stun in the world. Does wait him out, where Dawnlight is no longer a problem. Goes in for a vanish. Does have to burn a vanish just to catch a reset, though. Bop is still available for Saya, no bop, has lay on hands, so for plush, it's going to have to be more of those hit and runs. So, Saya is definitely not going to bubble immediately. So you're going to have to get through 2 of those. Basically get them below twice. So you're going to have to go through that hell bar like 2 more times, if anything. Hanging out by the eyes, though. Is that what he's going to do? Bubble and pick up the eyes and see if he can take that Plunge. Does go for a full make of action. Searing glare to follow. Plunge just can't even respond, man. Plunge just can't even respond, man. You got evasion. You got a short cheap shot. Disarm. Side is thinking of potentially just picking up the eyes. A Plunge is going to try to see if he can get ahead of him as best possible, as fast as possible. Smoke bomb just to create some line of sight. But it's just nothing you can do, man. Saya trinketing and just going in for immediate stun. Full drop down burst onto the rogue. There's just not much you can do. With Rick being second, actually Rick being last one up for this whole team. Wait, what the hell is that? Was that the trip from the anniversary? The axe? The Beyblade axe? I was so confused by the animation for a second. I was like, what is that? Zion's taking quite a bit of damage. He's still got to lay on hands on a bubble. So he's perfectly fine. Lay on hands does get used early. And Rick does end up baking away for just a second. Is going to be a wall available for him in case he needs to drop it down. Big Fell Lord. Unless Saya can go for it. Searing Glare is going to help with the Fell Lord, is it? The Wake of Ashes is going to stun it. Fiona to Saya is going to get yoinked out there for a second. Is going to be Rick getting locked down with a stun. But a knockdown by the Fell Lord. No, it doesn't even matter. It just bubbles it just to make sure he doesn't go down whatsoever. Claiming 3 at the end of that run. Well done, well done, well done. Alrighty, boys. Let's get us another one going here, yeah? If you need more bodies, let me know. Otherwise, we'll just send it again. I didn't realize Sai actually brought it back with 3 at the end there. Well done, my guy. Johnny's ready. Beautiful. 580. There we go. Let's do like a let's do a bit of a curveball for you guys. Let's do a Blade's Edge, man. Let's do a Blade's Edge or something. That's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling something like that right now. Need 2? Need 1? Alright, let me see if I can get you guys a +1. Does Dipson join these? I don't remember. Actually. Next is to join these a lot while back. We'll see if maybe Rumaro would like to join in. Chai, Silver, Sleep. Oh, hold on. Hold on. I got Sleepy. I'm gonna ask him real quick. Toxic coming on. He said he's IDK if I could play tonight. I'm going home right now. Yeah, so he's in transit. Otherwise I think he'd join us. He's in transit for the time being. So ask Romaro, ask Sleepy. I could probably ask. Ready? Okay, never mind. Apparently, you guys are all good. Yeah, let's do Blade's Edge. I feel like I almost never hear this song. Or it probably does play in the background. I just never really notice it. I feel like I almost never hear this one. What did you guys end up getting? Me XC. Was it? Hold on. Meeks? I'm gonna call him Meeks. I'm gonna call the mage Meeks. I was thinking for a second, like, wait, is that one mage that Cracker said whose name is like my ex now? But no, I don't think it is. I dropped from 21% to 60% haste is out with them. Made a crit versa neck instead of haste. Yeah, just sim. I would just sim. But crit ends up being a little bit better than haste in AoE generally, or Mythic Plus overall. But of course, just sim, because you do need a little bit of haste for that slammy damage. Which. Got ourselves Eloise over for the team 1 ready to go. We got us Sai, we got Cooper, we got us Leo. First up, we got Mikkel over in the back. I like that snail mount you got going on. I like the he got the snail mount with flowers. You got a flower pet. It's all very, very colorful. The whole setup. Rick trying to make sure he gets himself the top ground advantage. Mortal to push Leo out from behind the bridge, and that's some work, dude. That's a mortal coil. Immediately as soon as he gets up there, he's just jumping. You know he's gonna port. You know he's immediately gonna port, dude. He doesn't need to worry about it. Board set up actually in a weird spot, a very, very unusual spot. Gateway's also in a decent spot too. I like that one. And then it's going to be yet another Ewing. Finally got Rick locked down for a second. Trick and a follow. The Warlock having to rotate defenses. That is going to be plenty of demons out and about. The Fell Lord or Doom Lord absolutely blasted out Leo. Got himself 2 sides back to back. Trying to go for a kick. That is a wall out for Rick. Second side to follow. Hold on, that's another rotational side. Does he got another one? Oh no, that is a lucky side right there. Leo does that to pick it up a little bit more health. Rick will not be able to go for a port. Leo does not have much health to work with. That is going to be Mortal Coil. Locked down. I think it is over, man. Does get him some death back. Last second. Needs AMS. Needs something just to live a little bit longer. And there's going to be Axe Toss to drop him down. Rick does end up taking it. But Leo played that one out really, really good just now. That was actually incredible. How much damage he was taking and how much damage he was doing. That was as well as he could play, dude. Locked him down with a full grip after he's got through his gates, through his ports, all of that. But at the end of the day, it's just rough, man. Frost DK in particular, I think, has that a little bit rough. Especially since you can just get kited and just let those pets just blast you the entire time. Does get himself another port. Rick just tried to see if I could win Mikkel. He doesn't have a port next to him, though. Mortal Coil is trying to go for a kick, so not only does he get a juke, doesn't connect with a fear though, but that juke into a Mortal, that is perfect. That is so perfect. And he got the pet on him. Hold on. If he can Axe Toss, yeah. Keep him up there. Look at Rick, dude. He cut up all that health. He's back up and healthy. He's back up to business. Mikkel's the one that's taking damage from behind the pillar. Trying to get some dots on Rick. Mortal does go for a death pack. That is a full UA. That is an opportunity for Mikkel to make something happen here. If you can go for full Soul Rod onto Rick as well, that'll be massive, especially if you can hit the pets too. That's going to give you a bit of healing. Haunt, full burst, trying to see if he can live. Mikkel is going to take a lot of damage. Does go for a big soul rod, trying to recover. Look at that healing he's getting passively, but he's still melting. He's going to back up out of there for a second. Rick, are you going to live this? Rick? Oh, Rick! Rick! Oh no, it doesn't even matter. Mikkel just dropped everything on him and just let him run out there. Oh, I was thinking for a second, like, wait a moment. Does he live this? Does he die? Meeks is going to be up next. At least I'm going to call him Meeks. I have no idea what to call you, so we just call you Meeks. Although, I'm pretty sure that isn't Meeks. It's M-E-E-H-S. Mess? Is it Mess? M-E-E-H-S. Meeks? Meeks. I'm going to call him Meeks. I'm gonna call it Meeks. It's just easier on me, man. It's just easier. That's an X. That's not an H. Not in my book. Not anymore. Eloise take a lot of damage though. Meeks. Eloise bonked their head. I don't think they meant to do that right there. I think they wanted to fly up to get out of the way, but the bridge. I don't think they accounted for the bridge super well. Oh, it's unfortunate. It does go down. I think that was part of the defensive plays to go up, get out of dodge, try to dodge the meteor, but bonk their head. That was super, super unfortunate. Holy. Meeks does end up claiming one really quickly. Meese? Okay, it's Meese. Okay, I'll go with Meese. I'll go with Meese, okay? Okay, it's like Miss, but like real long E. No, never mind. Real long I? Meese? I will go. Fine, we'll go with Meese. We'll go Meese out loud. Is it good mess with me? Oh, okay, okay. And when we have this pop. Yo, Sham wants to join us, man, so we'll definitely be getting him in here as soon as possible. Holy Sire, trying to see if we can take down the mage. The Meese maybe looking for a potential block here. Barely alive, the player with fire. Oh, playing with Holy, actually. It does go for a quick block. Oh my goodness. 21% dampening ain't gonna let the block let you recover too much health, so you're gonna be a little bit of trouble here. Does have a Warlock Hellstone. Using Shimmer? I think he's a Shimmer mage. He could reverse a, Meese could reverse into a blink under the bridge. Might just want to do that just for the health recovery, honestly. Stun in, they're not playing Shimmer, they're playing normal blinks. Immediate blink on a stun. I don't know what else you could really do. That does spell steal. Hand of Freedom for Saya. Does reverse blink to recover some health, but also reposition. Saya is forced to just chase after the mage, but the mage, as long as they keep running, they're okay. The Dawnlight ain't feeling good at all, though. Does need at some point some kind of a defensive Ray of Frost to slow down Saya, but also to do some damage. That is a little helpful, but that Dawnlight ain't gonna feel good whatsoever. Does have the high ground and actually has himself an opportunity to do some damage, but Saya also got plenty of range, man, so you can't really stop it. No wall to hide behind versus get him, as he does get to open up on him from immediately. Technically, it's perfectly fine. Like, if, let's say, you're next to the enemy spawn point, they're welcome to attack you. Like, there's no, we don't have any specific 5-5 1v1 duel rules on that, right? Positionals and all that are very, very important, but like, all Kedem is doing is just waiting until the guy in front of him is dead, and then he gets to go. So, yeah. I said some of you guys like, oh, we should probably just completely let him reset, completely let him go for a setup. And it's like, listen, in 5-5-1, sometimes you play in a class that you have like no way of winning up against. So this gives you like an opportunity, right? This gives you a bit of variety, because I feel like if you got a reset of Saya versus Kedem, I think Saya wins 9 out of 10 of those. Just because Paladin Kedem tried to see for Camera Fade. Hold on, wait a second. Oh! He almost brought it back. Saya still has a bop, I think, though, right? Holy. Why was that so clutch? I think it's because Saya bubbled, but he couldn't bob there because he still had forbearance. Bubble can be used while forbearance is active, but Bob can't. Bob can't do that. That's crazy. Saya does get himself Blessing Protection immediately. Not recovering a lot of health, though. Does still get a stun into plus as he goes in for, what is it, Shadow Strike opener? Is that what that was? He was ready with a stun, dude. He was ready with a stun. Does get himself a proper cheap shot versus Saya, though. Trying to go for a bit of a secret technique. Is it going to be enough, though? Does give himself yet another cheap shot. Cloak of Shadows? No, not available. Maybe evasion, feint. He just needs a little more damage. Oh, shoot that. Will it be enough? Push on, press on, and they got each other. Oh, the cross skill. You gotta love it. And Young Jay and Koopa are the last ones left. I love that cross skill. That was so good. Koopa making sure to get those silences back to back on a Young. Young loves silences. I love silences. Just making sure he can't play the game whatsoever. Polly does connect. Koopa has a full death mark rolling into Young. It is gonna be full stun lock combo. He's just gonna go for a cloak. Just gonna go for a cloak. Vanish was used as well, so that's quite a lot of defenses used for Koopa. But I think he has an advantage. Does get frozen. And Young is just trying to see if he can maybe like freeze him and keep him at bay. Does have a second block. I don't know if he'll be able to use it, because if you do enough bleed damage, it's over. I think it's just done. Yeah, it's over. Blinks, but it doesn't even matter. Oh, holy! Saya picking up a 3. Yo. I didn't even realize Saya picked up 3, actually. Was it just a clear beauty at the end there? I didn't even realize it. That was so good. Let's get another one going. If you guys need an extra, we got Sleepy on standby, so we can get Sleepy Sham to join ya. If you need a body, just let me know, and I'll get him in here. Ready? Alright, beautiful. Johnny's ready. Let's see your plus is ready. Again, if you guys need a +1, we do have Sleepy Bear on standby, so we can get Sham in here. Ready? Alrighty. Let's go for a... Let's go Black for Cold. I'm like mixing up these arenas super hard. Normally, I think by this point of the night, we'd be like... For some reason, I thought we were streaming for about 1:30. I was thinking like, oh, we were about to wrap up the stream and end it here. I was gonna say, usually by the end of the night we'd be on Tiger's Peak. We're not even halfway through. We're actually just halfway through. Huh. I didn't even realize it. For some reason I felt like the maybe just the number of games. I think we probably had just a lot of really short games, haven't we? Feels like we've gone through a lot of them so far. Alrighty. Yeah, that is out. Okay. Try to make sure I get my audio saved and all that. Alrighty. Good Twitch. Got ourselves Eloise over for the team one ready to go. We got ourselves Koopa on that team. Oh, this is such a good set. I love the shoulders. I love those shoulders, man. I love those shoulders. Oh, it looks so good. Oh, dude, the kunai knives. Saya first up, dude. I want to go just watch the shoulders. Ballistic protection immediately removed. Cannon might begin to bubble out of Saya. What? I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry. That is the fastest I've ever seen Saya go down to any class. I'm sorry, what? He must not be running that one talent where you can bubble while Bob is active, right? He's got to just not be running that this time around. Because Kenem just absolutely shredded. Is getting shredded himself, actually. Koopa just gonna go in there with the blades and just leave him rotting. Yeah, Kenem, unless you got some kind of a defensive, all you can do is flare, maybe set up a trap or two. Instead, I'll press a bop. Instead of lay, I press bop. Oh, okay. Yep, yeah, okay. Yeah. Good riddance, finally Holy gets wrecked. Cresters, why you gotta be like that? Smoke bomb out for Koopa. This is gonna get stunned up either way. Volley looks like smoke bomb subs the volley completely. Normally when you volley, you have the line of sight of the target, but smoke stops it. Wait a second, is smoke actually that broken? I never realized smoke would stop a volley like that. I've never seen that. Cheap shot by Koopa, trying to get some more dots onto Kenem. Kenem is going to need a lot more defenses if he wants to live this. Definitely needs to get some kind of a range versus Koopa. More volleys or more rapid fires if possible. But he's trying to see if he can just sit down for some food. Flare down, does go for turtle shell. Garrote still connects and see for more bleeding. And Kenem needs to find a way just to keep this rogue at bay. He's looking for a full-on recovery. He's just trying to go mage food. Charge trap for a second. Rapid fire. I feel like he's in a situation where he knows he can't really like play around with this rogue. Does go for a quick wall just to get himself a small excel. Just to get himself a small bit of heal. Koopa just trying to make sure he doesn't get any kind of food whatsoever. Throwing down a trap. Cheap shot. I think it's over. I think it's over. Kenem does have a trinket last second. Hold on a moment. Does get himself another trap. Volley down. Rapid fire onto Koopa. Just gonna have to take the damage, but he's okay. Into a Vanish Sheep. Yeah, takes it. Takes it. With Plunge going to be on up next with the Shadow Blades. Immediate opener onto Koopa, trying to make sure he can maximize all the damage. Full burst Koopa, cheat death. Barely survives it. If it wasn't for that cheat death, it was over. Way over before it started. Does go for another cheap shot back to back into a disarm for disarm. Koopa does get himself at least a moment to possibly make it out of here alive. Just got to get a couple of bleeds onto Plush. He does have a full death mark on the guy though. That is a full set of bleeds on him. Koopa has himself an evasion. As long as he doesn't get locked down in cheap shot, he might be okay. Does get a Garrote into Plush. No meld or nothing for a while. Does have a trinket. Does go for a step kick. Kidney. Wait. Koopa's still melting. But Plush does get super low. Does get hit with a shiv. Block shot is for Plush. But it's still going to take a lot of bleed damage. Koopa picking up a lot of health there. I think a Warlock Hellstone just get used. Into a step yet again. Garrote. Cheap shot. Just trying to lock him down. Oh, the blade's going to do it. Vanish for Plush just to give himself more survivability. But that shiv is going to slow him down by a decent bit. Koopa with a trinket immediately gouged right after. And Plus trying to see if he can end it, but it's going to be disarmed. The assassination rogue is just dancing with death right now. Is it? Oh! Damn. Plus gets access to his weapons again. Quick eviscerate. Taking him out. My God, that was so clutch. I was really hoping, man. I was really hoping. As Plush is going to get hit with a quick blind Leo. Trying to see if he can get himself a proper go here. Does have himself the big burst. He versus Winter by the looks of it. Does he? No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. Not playing that. Not playing that. Playing the scythe build. Hey, cheat death for Plush, but I think it's over, right? Yeah, just did one more hit. Question is, does Leo have another exterminate proc from the scythe? He might, though. He might. Meese is going to be up next. I literally have to look at the chat for Outlaw. How you spell that name? Just to make sure I get it right. Meese. I want to say Meeks because it looks like an X, but it's actually an H, so it makes the sound of Meese. Trying to do the best what I can, man. Your business share my thoughts on the internet for as I died. I was liking the mog, dude. I was liking the shoulders in particular. The thighs are just a bonus, but the shoulders is where it's at. But it's going to be Leo with a quick stun. Meese does go for a potential knock, does not quite connect. That is going to be Leo getting those exterminates that he's looking for. Does go for a grip and yet another exterminate. Do you have another one? Do you get another one? That is the thing with Death Knight. You can either get a bunch of exterminate procs back to back. Oh, he does. Oh, he does. Oh, he actually does. Wait, he actually does. Do you get another one though? Do you get a third in a row? Do we get a third one, baby? Or are we out? You can't ever tell those because basically every one of those exterminates has a chance to reapply a free death mark on the target. And when the death mark procs, whenever you do enough damage or if the enemy drops low enough health, you get another scythe, which can give you another mark, which can give you another scythe, which can give you another mark. And you can basically just gamble in a casino. That's a full burst ready to go. Not a lot of defenses. Death pact used just to live a little longer. Just needs to get right next to Meese. Does not look like he has another scythe though. I don't know how he escapes this. I don't know how he escapes this in chat. Holy. He doesn't even have to heal right now. Just all necrotic down for a second. And any damage he takes, even to blizzards, is just way painful. He has a kick. Brat to follow though. Does he have another grip? He needs anything. Any grips? That meteor is going to be over. Oh, that is so rough. That is so rough. It's very good, but it's definitely very, very rough. Mikkel is up next. Second to last order for the team 1 versus Meese. We got us a bunch of casters, man, and 1 demon hunter. So we got ourselves casters and a DH. Got ourselves literally Hogwarts school with all the. Wait, is that Mikkel dropping all these banners? Oh wait, that last one looks real cool. Which one is that? That one looks dope. I mean, the other one looks pretty cool, but that one looks unique. Is that a new one? Are these old Dragonflight ones? And that's the new one? I don't think I've ever gotten my banner, by the way. I was doing one of those banner events and I never got one. I'm kind of sad. Kind of sad too. This is going to be Mortical sent in over on Meese. And is looking for a bit of that reset. Mikkel with a stun does connect. Meese with a blink. I'm pushing the +1. I got you, bud. I got you. I got CP. I got CP Sham. You're good. I can get you guys a +1. Meese is melting though. He does have one more block, so he's gonna have to be very, very careful when he uses it. I just want to use it here. Yeah. There's only so many things you can do right now, and right now all you can do in the moment, block. I just wait it out as best as I can. Mixies? I don't think that's what his name is. I think it's just Meese. If you do actually take it into Cyrillic, it is just M-E-E-H-S. Meese. Yeah. That just would be his name. Meteor down into Mikkel. Mortical does get traded with a stun though. For Meese, it's just not ideal because that was going to be a huge shatter combo. Mikkel did end up burning defenses at the very least, but for Meese, that would have been a potential opportunity to break past those defenses. Does continue to get flurries, more procs, try to go for a kick. Mikkel does get a juke it. Meese still taking damage to the face though. That is going to be feared to lock him down. Perfect opportunity for Mikkel to get some dots in or just some procs, and that shuttable proc, I think it's over. He's trying to live it. He's trying to live it as best as possible. Do you have cooldown reduction? You got some images to reduce some of the damage? You need a shield? Oh, the health bar. Wait. Wait. Oh. Blinking? Does it blink just to reverse it? Your health bar. Oh, it blinks. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Oh, it's over. Oh, it's over. As soon as you see the Warlock port, you're like, where'd it go? But depending where you went, you're either dead or alive. One of those two. Young is going to be up next. For Mikkel, he's got to go from one mage to the next, from one frost to another frosty, from frostfire to frostfire. And then you also got Rick on standby as well. Breath immediately for Young, making sure to get himself a proper opener. Full burst available for his Mikkel. Trying to go for a stun, but he actually ends up walking away from him quite a decent bit. Does end up going for wall. Dark Pact is going to go for human righteous to break out of the stun. It's going to land a CC onto Young on his damage go, but he's going to still allow him to go for a proper poly. Trying to get a couple of those instant cast procs on Mikkel. Did a bit of decent damage. It is going to be Mikkel summoning up a freshly pet just to make sure you get himself a proper kick. Ice block early for Young just to make sure he doesn't lose too much health. And Mikkel is going to get a bunch of dots on that pet at the very least. Don't think you play swap though, does it? No, he's gonna get those dots back into Young, but trying to make sure he's very, very careful with the kicks. Trying to make sure he doesn't get, he goes for a juke, if anything. But Young with a quick invis for a second. Miko does pick up eyes immediately, and dots on the Young does not connect with the breath. Trying to go for a kick, does not connect. It's gonna be a poly for Young. Dark back for Miko. This should be okay. That is going to be a lot of shatter, a lot of potential burst damage. Is it enough to break the shield? It is barely enough to break past the shield, but not too much into the actual health bar. So for Young, that was a decent bit of a go, but he needs to get another one like that going. He needs to get cooldown reduction. Soul Rod for Miko. If you get a proper Soul Rod, I think it's just going to be blocked for Young. He does have a second one. Still got a second one. But as long as Miko can disrupt some way, somehow, the next go by Young, and he's trying to have some kind of a go. Meteor down? Yeah, Meteor down. That is a lot of damage for Miko to take. That is a lot of damage, even if you're not locked down to stun, that is still a lot to take. Second block. For Miko, he's in an okay spot. Young does not have a lot of health. Miko does not have an out for the next go. That's the problem. Dark Pact is getting used really early. All Young needs to do is just wait this out. And Miko trying to make sure the while Dark Pact is on him, he's just trying to see if he can break in. To try to see if he can slay Young. Does get juked out. Poly to follow. Full stun. Might be end of Miko actually. Young barely any health. Oh, he does end up getting it. Oh, the burst, dude. That's all you need as a mage. It's just a one quick setup. And it's just over. LMP does end up taking him out very, very quickly. With Rick trying to see if he can get himself a setup immediately. My goodness, man. Holy. Mordecai is going to be trinket out for Eloise. Does try to see if he can get himself some kind of a setup. Axtos getting sent in as Rick got himself a bunch of pets, bunch of damage going out. Eloise up in the air. All you can do is just pelt the pets at that point, right? Yeah. It's just a rough spot to be in against Demonology. And so unless you can get away from the pets, that's how immune. He knows that he needs to be on Rick the entire time, but like, how do you... So you got to either take down the pets, which I think is not really feasible in this kind of environment. Chase it under the Warlock, also very, very difficult. Darkness down, I think it's just over. Yeah. I think once Rick got it was like, it keeps you at an arm's reach. It's just really, really hard for you to come back, honestly. It is very, very difficult. Let's get us another one going here, yeah? Uno más, boys. Let's go. Let's get in here. Plus, I can get you a +1. Yeah. A spot is open. Let me know when to letting him know real quickly. Johnny, are we good? We're ready. Beautiful. I'm gonna get you guys a +1. We'll be good to go. We got Sham in here, and we're good to go. Plus lead, and we gotta go to a. Should I do a Tiger's Peak? I feel like we're burning through the good maps so super quickly. We're gonna have to go back to Nagrand soon. What are the maps that we like? Lordaeron, I guess? Did we do Lordaeron? I feel like we're going through all the good ones. Those meta never mod? Yeah, exactly. Always gonna be a meta never mod. AWC isn't a metric? I mean, to some degree it can be, depending on what you're looking for. Like, there's not a lot of PvP competitions out there, but AWC is like the most popular one though. Right? It's like the one, Rambo Blizz, so is the most popular one in comparison. Have fun. Dude, a lot of people don't forget that the games are here for you to have fun though. I will agree with that sentiment. A lot of people do forget that the games are here to have fun. It's not about dominating, unless you have fun dominating, which I guess there's classes for it. But it is all about having fun at the end of the day though, isn't it? Twitch. Got ourselves Saya charging out versus Rick, dude. These two needed a 1v1 here. Blessing is sank really early. Saya trying to see if he can disrupt any axe tosses. Is going to go for Spell Warden super early on. He is going to be able to stop a lot of that magic damage, but the Tyrant ain't that scary. The imps are not scary. The triple Gloomhound, Charhound, and Vile Feeder is going to be scary. And they're going to do physical damage. Well, partially fire and shadow as well, but a lot of that physical is going to be the Spell Warden falling off Rick. Get himself a full lineup of demons. Gloomhound Doom Lord, so that's going to be a lot of damage pelting down Saya with Axos to lock him down, with Fears pushing him back away towards the other side of the pillar. He does get himself a Dawn Light, but he's going to need that Holy Light lay on hands in order to keep himself afloat. Yet another pet joins in. That's just a lot of free damage. I mean, if Saya doesn't avoid the Doom Lord, he's going to take a lot of free hits, and that thing does do a decent bit of damage. It is solid. It's got a good positional. Look at that thing raining shadow bolts on Saya. Mortal to follow. Does get juked. Bubble right after. Rig just gotta live. Rig just gotta live. This is the last bastion of defense for Saya. Could be actually in a lot of trouble. Does set up a gateway. Looking for a quick fear. Does get super low in health. Does he have any way to live this right now? I think he just might die here. Hold on. Dawn Light. Oh, the light is with Saya. Does land the kill with a bubble. All he needed just to send everything in, let the dots rot him. Rick technically did have a wall, but I don't really know if a wall would have stopped a lot of that rot damage though, right? Unless you have like some kind of, unless Warlocks have a talent where they overrun PvP talent, like while wall is up you heal. Oh, that's a full burst of Saya. He does survive with Chill Event to keep him alive. Does have Dawn Light he could use defensively. And with wings, oh wait, here's a holy, oh! Just turn it around versus Meese. Holy! I think Meese will just try to send every global offensively, thinking like, okay, this is it. I gotta end them. I gotta take him out right here, right now. You just have to send everything. I think a block would probably be like a safer play, but I probably felt like, you know what? If I block right now, I'll lose momentum. I just gotta push. This is an opportunity. I have to risk it. And sometimes you gotta risk it, man. Sometimes you gotta risk it. Because if you block, like, it's not like you have damage that continues to hit Saya. Like, you can't drop a meteor down on block, and then Saya still gets hit. Like, if you block, all your damage just stops. And Saya goes in for recovery most likely. The full burst out for Sham. Leap it over to Saya, who's just looking to back himself out of that situation as soon as possible. Sham looking to catch up to him. He just needs to get close enough. That Dawn Light is hurting him quite a decent bit though. The damage buffs towards the Herald of the Sun, by the way. Those are in this week, aren't they? Those are pretty good. Actually a decent bit of damage. Hold on, I gotta look at the actual patch notes to see how good this is now. Saya does not have a Blessing of Spell Warden or Bubble. Maybe Leon Hits coming up at some point. Big Bulwark Totem for Sham as he got a Shield of Venus for Saya. So both of them are shielding up as much as possible. Sham backing up out of that situation actually. He's got a Dawn Light burning through him decent bit by bit. Stone onto Saya. Does have a Trinket. Does he have a second totem to drop down? He does not. Big burst with a full Primordial Storm out for Sham. Does get hit with a blind Searing Glare to follow. Is going to be Saya trying to see if he can reverse the damage back towards Sham, but looks like both of them have stabilized. Saya on the recovery with a Dawn Light. Does get himself another Wake of Ashes. Sham getting super low. Could be in a lot of trouble. Does get himself Big Tempest. Looking for a heal. Is it enough? Does get taken out. And Saya does end up cleaving him down. I forgot, Chad, that this week was the week where Pally's got a buff towards Herald. I forgot that this was the week. I had to go back and look at the actual damage buffs for that playstyle. Like what got buffed up, what got changed up. Because I actually think this might be I think Saya might be cooking this week. I think Saya might actually be cooking. Red Pally back maybe? Red Pally possibly back. Young does end up getting himself some flurries onto Saya. Full breath Pally. He doesn't have spell warding. He doesn't have anything. Maybe lay on hands, but does he have enough to live this year? Shield event is barely keeping him rolling. Young still got himself lots of proc damage from a distance. Question is, does Saya have the lay on hands again? Bubble in 10. Or you just wait for 10 seconds until Bubble's back up. He's trying to see if he can get behind the pillar. Hand of Freedom is constantly being stolen. The Frost damage slowing him down. Lay on hands is back in play though. Lay on hands does come back in play. And it's going to be Young facing up against a Paladin who has himself an immunity. He's going to have to trade immunes here. Trying to go for a kick, but doesn't connect. That is going to be a poly out for Young. Got himself a bit of range. Could technically go for a proper stun here. Is going to go for a repoly. Needs to go really quick for a proper burst go. But Saya with a blind stops some of the damage, but not all of it. Still has a bubble in case he needs to. So he's actually okay. It's actually perfectly fine. Young with an invis for a second. Does get hit with a stun. There's going to be a blink for him. For Saya, that is going to be at least a dot onto Young that's constantly ever so present. Try to see if you can make some procs happen. It's going to be a reversal on that health for the mage for a moment. Saya getting super low. Does go for the bubble. Looking to end them. That's going to be a block. Both of them are looking for recovery. Saya got a huge regenerating for him, so he's going to recover a ton of health. Young is going to get some health from a block, but not as much. Not as much as it could have. Dampening is reducing it, but also to reduce that healing by quite a bit. Like a while ago, I think. Ain't it? Saya Full stun. I think it's over for Young. Yeah, it is over. Man, full entire team actually KO'd and only Plush is the last one left. He's got to find a way to break past the pally. Bop is the only thing he's got. Trinket as well. This is going to be a tough one. I want to watch Plush squeak out a victory here. He's played Assassination. Actually might be the spec for this. Might be the spec for this because I feel like the dot damage can be really, really good. Plus, you have poisons, you have bleeds. You can try spellboarding poisons or bopping the bleeds, but like you still get another source of damage either way. Plush is trying to see if he can get himself a full reset. Bop and an eye picked up by Saya. He sees Plush either way. Just trying to see if he can live it. Hold on, is that just a KO? Stun? I think it's done. I think it's over. There's nothing you can do. Absolute full domination by the Paladino. Look at the... How about a healing this guy does to himself? Is he a ret or is he a holy spec? Oh my god. Hold on. That was some damage. Gotta see another one going. Gotta go again. Plush and yeah, the eye, yeah. Yeah, he did. Okay. For coming. Thank you for popping in, Az and Miko. Appreciate you, boys. One of you guys is gonna need more bodies, right? I don't think it's Team Plush. I think it's Johnny. Johnny, toss me an invite, man. We gotta get you guys a couple more bodies. Need to? Pop me that invite. Pass me the lead. We need 2 more bodies, boys. 2 more bodies. If y'all want to join in, more than welcome to. Here we go. Here we are. You guys are more than welcome to join us. What, Romaro message mean? Invite? Yo. Here we go. Get you in here. We're gonna need a +1 as well. You're gonna need a +1 as well, boys. If y'all want to join in, more than welcome to. Need uno más. Played the game in a while, but for different reasons. Everything to do with the game or the design philosophy. I feel like that's generalizing a lot of things. I mean, you may not like it, but season 2 has been like factually better than season 1. It's been a lot more fun. And I feel like maybe you have like someone specific in mind you have, Christers, but I feel like that's something that people on Reddit say a lot. Because a lot of people like on WoW Reddit in particular don't actually play the game, haven't played it for years. I feel like people like to throw out big words like game's horrendous design philosophy. I feel like I hear that a lot. You know what I mean? I feel like you hear those repeating words. A lot. But nobody, I feel like, ever goes into detail like, what design do you have a problem with? You know what I mean? Because you could say, like, let me see if I can put an example to make sense for you guys. But I hear stuff like, okay, tell me what game I'm thinking of when I say this. I'm thinking of a game with absolutely directionless storylines, a underbaked, subpar, underdesigned combat system that doesn't respect the player's time, and a loot structure that doesn't satisfy a player's expectation of what a player would want. In most cases being a rewarding experience. Let me see. Minecraft, New World. But also a microtransaction plague of a cash shop that shreds your wallet without any incentive for the player to invest their time in any meaningful way into the game's ecosystem. I didn't have any game in mind. You guys already had some pop up, right? I just said a bunch of bullshit words that sounded like I'm thinking of something smart. Something, I've just literally said a bunch of words. I wasn't thinking of any game. I just literally took any kind of like buzzwords thing that gets people like tied emotionally towards a game, usually based on like hatred of a game. Just put some stuff in. You guys already thought of a couple of games. I didn't have to think of like, I didn't have a game in mind at all. But technically all the ones you guys listed line up pretty well. Like you already had like, hey, here's one. Kind of fits it. I literally just decided to put a bunch of words together. It's just a word slob that are just mixed in. You know what I mean? It's not a debate. It's just like, this is just a lot what I hear about. Like, it's a very like generalized term of like, kind of like what Chris said, like everything to do with the game's horrendous design philosophy. And it's like, I feel like nobody really ever goes into detail like what specifically they like. So I just had a bunch of generic buzzwords, and you already had like a game that like popped in your head, type of deal. I'm looking for the games with multiple angles, raiders, dungeons like yourself, focusing on one aspect, but also short-sighted. But what? About looking at the game from multiple angles, raiders and dungeons like yourself. Well, that's generalizing what I do. But I do a lot more than just raiding and dungeons. I actually explore multiple facets of the game, from the baseline grassroots down into like the high end. I try to experience as much of it as possible. Yeah, and I actually make a bunch of videos on the different things that I'm into. I literally did some transmog things. That takes time and research to find out all the easy mods you can get that actually look pretty unique. Mods people wouldn't really know and stuff like that. That's not really a high-end dungeon raider content, right? So to basically it's like, oh, Dal, you're on this pedestal. You wouldn't know what the rest of us would feel. I feel like you're painting me with a wide brush, right? We can use words that explain and do literally nothing. And I feel like that's a lot of times what people really do. Nobody really goes into like a fine point of like what you like, what you don't like, right? That's what I mean. I feel like it still is a wide brush. It's still all super wide. High-end, precisely what I'm referring to. Yeah, but I explore all aspects of the game, not just high-end. I play so much of this video game, man. I do everything. I still run delves from a super casual perspective. I still level characters just for the sake of just leveling characters. That shit's fun to me. I get into some little weird like grinds or whatever, right? I did the Dark Fuse farm. Which is like, you don't need to be a high-end player to get into that stuff, right? I explore the game from multiple facets. I feel like I know it pretty well. But to peg me on a pedestal of like high-end, you wouldn't know what the plebs feel. It's just like, I feel like it's reductive. Here's another good word. It is reductive. But like, yeah, it's just, I feel like a lot of the times people, you go into like a game design, blah, 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 blah. You could add a bunch of words that could hit a bunch of games, but like most people don't really go into things they like or dislike about the game, right? Like, if you want to talk about specific versions of WoW, like what's wrong with the current season, for example, I do think that like 11.1.5 stuff, the content and the fact that you look at delay, probably not going to be ideal for a lot of players. Especially if we just look into like new games out. Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. I need to stop talking. I just need to get some games going. But like, we can talk about those things, right? Like, oh, and Alex. Hey, wanna join? Oh, he's Zulazar. He's probably doing M+. And like, if you don't like the game, Chris, that's all good. I'm not trying to like convince you otherwise. That's all good. You either like stuff, you don't like stuff. I just don't really like when somebody goes into like broad terms like this. It's just, I don't know. I feel like it's just not a good, I don't know. If I was having a conversation, I guess, with somebody and that's kind of the terms that started throwing out at me, I'd be like, well, that conversation is not going to go anywhere. You know what I mean? Like in most cases, I'm just going to go, yeah, cool. And that conversation is probably going to die off unless I just feel like, you know, fanning the fire so the dislikes can be justified. And I don't really know if I just don't really find that super productive, unfortunately. Who else do I invite, man? Hold on, I got Bean friends, but I'm like on this whole topic now. Does the game run? Yes. Is it better than some? You get a cute yes. Yeah, that is better than some. Kind of, yeah. You can break it down like that too. But yeah, Battlefield does our lore. I see he's doing some mock runs. Dude, who else do you invite, man? How much you play Classic? I mean, I leveled the character all the way to max in Classic Kata. And I played Classic when it initially launched. I played the shit out of SOD, right? I attempted TBC, I attempted Wrath. So I've had an experience with Classic, but I didn't like raid in Classic. To me, it just ended up being the type of game or a variation of WoW that I just had a hard time like really sticking with it on my own time. It's something I would have enjoyed with a friend, but on my own, I definitely did find myself like not really enjoying it as much. It was a fine experience and a great slow experience that I feel like I found new appreciation for it after playing Baldur's Gate 3, which is a much slower RPG, dice rolling and all that. And I feel like that's where like WoW got a lot of inspiration from, is like active dice rolling, but constantly. That's what some ability just miss randomly, or things just resist stuff. Just D&D kind of format, but in WoW. And I found some appreciation from that perspective, but I still had a hard time like really grinding through it all the way through, you know what I mean? How much I play for immersion, the world, RPG values. But like I said, like after playing BG3, like immersion and RPG values, like I started appreciating them a lot more. But the game's pacing definitely was a little bit slower, right? Oh, Shinigami, let's go. Because in all these years, I've seen you quite hyper-focused on endgame progression. But like, again, that's still an assumption, right? That's still an assumption. You know what I mean? An assumption that I tell you is wrong. You know what I mean? Wrong. Because I'm the kind of person that, you know, the dress black and blue, white and gold. I am in that minority of like, I see the dress in a weird way. But I'm wrong. I'm just wrong. It is my perspective that it's how I see it, but it is a wrong perspective. It is not truth. It is not reality. It's just how I see it. But like, it's just like a gene that I have. My brother doesn't have it. My mom doesn't have it. I do. But I'm still wrong. You know what I mean? We good? Resend. Oh no, we're good, we're good, we're good. We're good, we're good, we're good, boys. We got a lot of mages though. Stretch? Hell yeah, dude. Wait, Stretch Bum? What a good name, my god. Yeah, I'm having a Socrates moment. Dude, yeah, I don't try to go into like full on like big brain theory discussions. Because I feel like they're just, I don't know. I feel like I like having deep discussions, but only like with a handful of individuals and like in a very just few intimate environments, I guess. Because I feel like outside of it, I just sound like I'm a hack. Like I feel like it's like a self-importance kind of thing when people do that. And some people like that, but I just always look at it and it's just always been a bit cringe, right? Having those kind of deep moments with another person, maybe on a private setting, it's really cool, right? Getting into the nitty-gritty. But like when you're out in the public, I just think it's just like it's blowing smoke up your own ass, and that's just not what I like to do. Which, oh, Plush is missing a guy? It's okay. Or Leo rather is missing a guy. That's okay. Oh no, they're not. Omega is in. We got ourselves Shinigami trying to see if we can live as Mies just not giving him a moment to breathe. That is a full combustion mage, and the fire mage is dominating right now. Hold on, Big Phoenix Flames does not go for the block. It's going to be Mies with the block of his own. Shinigami is still holding on to a cauterize. Does he play the big shields? Or does he play like normal shields and just getting burned through them really quickly? I guess we'll find out in a second. Let's shoot gas out in a moment, right? Oh, he does have big shields. So he's going to have to be very careful with the big shields. Blizzard damage that he's taking right now, it is not going to feel good whatsoever. And Mies does not give him much of a breather. Does go for the Master Shield. That is going to reflect damage back to him. That reflective damage is kind of nice, though. Breath connects for Mies. Does go for a trinket. Block out for Shinigami with the... Oh, no, the Cauterize, too. At least he's got himself a huge health recovery, right? Cauterize puts him just about at half health. And then you block and you get yourself a lot of recovery little by little. Mies goes in for a quick poly, try to see if he can get a frost bomb set up, everything will go in. Does not get the shatters though. It's gonna be a trinket out for Oroshini. Does get hit with stun. Try to go for a knock, doesn't quite connect. Frostfire Bolt may just be the end of you. Get some Frostfire Bolt cast while you're stunned. Could be just the lights. Got himself a couple Pyrus. That's a mastery built up. Second block available. Mies may just have to deal for it. And Shinigami needs himself a shields at the right moment. Breath. Just continuing to plaster him with Phoenix Flames. Does get a random rocket combustion. Dude, this could be anyone's game right now. Shouldn't he get me just to catch a reset? Mies pops out a block early though. So both of them are very, very similar. And health does go down. Oh, that is rough. Bonked out of Phoenix Flame though. So he wasn't playing... So he wasn't even playing Frostfire Mage. He was actually playing a very, very different build. And Eloise taking out Beast really, really quickly. So both mages were actually pretty even, honestly. Pretty even. The fact that he's playing the Phoenix build though, I do think maybe some of that damage that he's able to do can potentially be put on the floor though, unfortunately. Just because of like the Phoenix, does it move? Does it actually position? Does it like stand still? Because I feel like in PvE it just stands still. You know what I mean? Oh, it's a warm-up? Yeah, it's all good, it's all good. You just gotta need one warm-up game every single time, honestly. We'll still have plenty. Unless Stretch Bum lives up to his name. I like it's an Earthen Shaman named Stretch Bum on the Outland. Just running in there, dude. Runo to Eloise is gonna go for immediate Hex. Stone right after. Trinkets just to get out of there. Stretch trying to see if he can get himself some kind of a setup. It's going to be a potential Stormkeeper. Got himself Primordial getting set up as well. Looking for a big cast. Is going to be Stormkeeper either way. Big Rock of Ascend. Get himself in the right spot. But I think Eloise might actually win this DPS race. Stretch Bum has a lot to get through here. Wall just continue to pelt her with a lava burst as much as possible. Light Lassa looking for an escape. Doesn't end up reversing the dots. A Flame Shock back to Stretch. She's going to be a stun. That Darkness did not. Dude, that Darkness did you dirty just now. That's where Darkness should have absorbed that extra Earth Shock. It just did not. It just did not. I wonder if they should make Darkness a bit more consistent, like a proper defensive, right? Like next X amount of abilities get absorbed, right? Something like that. Hex is out for a Stretch. Just trying to see if he can live this. And this is full damage out of Leo. You just gotta wait until Hex is over. I don't know what else Stretch can do. Yeah, does get slain down. Does get executed. With Sham up next, it's gonna get yoinked over. It's gonna be the Scythe attacking him. Does Leo get the resets on the Death Mark though? He actually might have. He might have. Silence of the Sham kind of limiting his ability to self-heal. Does he get more Scythe? He does get more Scythe! Tell me he got another Death Mark. I swear to God, if you got another Death Mark, that'd be the funniest thing ever. Every single time you get a Scythe, there's a chance that it will apply a free Death Mark to the target. Sham trying to see if he can maneuver the totem just to get himself over towards Leo. And he's got himself at least a bit of survivability behind the pillars so far. Big Primordial Storm. Sham is super low on health. Maybe looking for a Bulwark. Does he have Bulwark? Scythe is gonna just absolutely wreck right through him. Does he get yet another proc? Just turn the damage around to Leo, causing the DK to tuck tail and run. Ledgeborn is available. He's looking for a bit of the reset. Wait, that was you, Plush? You were Stretch Bum? No way. I was thinking for a second, like, wait, where's Plush for a moment? But that's you? What a name. That's so good. Sham does get himself full recovery behind the pillar, though. Rushing in, Leo trying to see if he can back up out of the Death of Decay, slow him down. Just absolutely crippling his whole go. And just trying to see if he can get the hell out of dodge. Throw him around the corner. Does not go for the root by the looks of it. At least I assumed it's a root totem. Blind by Leo. Full burst, silence on a Sham. Does he have the big combo? He needs the Scythe right now. Oh, wait, what was that? Was that just the Death Mark popping? That was the biggest Death Mark pop ever. What was that? Hold on, how hard did it hit him? He still has Exterminate Scythes, so you can still get a couple of blitz. I don't think he's going to live versus Young, but he still can. If he ever gets a moment, he does have Runing Power. Oh, I think it's over. Yeah. Holy! That was so good. OMGA? Omega? I'm gonna call you Omega. I'm gonna call you Omega. I don't even care. It is a boomkin. Try to see if he can power shoot, but he's taking so much damage from Young. Baraskin may not be enough. I think it might be dead. Living. Live for a bit longer. Needs healing. Definitely needs survivability. Does get a knock? Wait a second. He doesn't need survivability. He just needs raw damage. He just needs that raw damage. Oh my god. Greg goes back to back, just trying to see if he can get himself fully topped up, and does get to top himself up real quick. Didn't they also buff up their healing with their friends of Region recently? For Milkroot Deathbreaker. Oh, that's so good. 4 million hit, boys. Is that the hardest hitting ability in the game right now, outside of like a Chaos Bolt? Like Chaos Bolt pretty sure is the hardest, but that thing is nutty. Omega, try to see if you can reposition. I think just trying to get some instant cast on the Young. Might be enough, actually. Look, the dot damage, the Moonfire, the Sunfire, All that is adding a little bit extra rot towards Young. The cast, the hard cast are also doing a really good job as well. Is he not a tree build? Is he the loon build? He actually might be a loon build. Is that what we were playing with? Young just trying to see if he can get the hell out of dodge here. Are you in a loon build? I actually can't tell. Because normally you'd be seeing like little trees walking around and he'd be getting like big, like a burst of green, but I don't think he's playing that for PvP at all. Trying to see if he can Ursul's Young with a silence, does not quite hit. Young got himself the ultra, he's in a good spot. Omega does get a Fury of a Loon on him. Wait, is a Fury of a Loon gonna kill him? Dude, Fury of a Loon, yo, no, he is actually a Loon. He is a Loon Druid. Hold on a second, he is actually a Lunar Druid. He's just melting the guy from behind the pillar just with that Fury of a Loon, and he gets getting procs of Fury of a Loon behind the pillar. Wait a second. Is this it? Is this the play? Omega actually insane? Possibly the greatest? Hold on a second. Young just trying to see if he can get himself a setup versus the guy. This is going to be a quick roar. He's got a couple of dots on the dude and does got a mushroom pop as well. 20 initial cooldowns are back up and available. Bear form to make sure he can get polyed. He's going to get frozen though unless he goes for a trinket. Might just have to, does go for a trinket, trying to see if he can rush out of there. Power shifting just to keep himself moving. Just enough to walk out of the meteor, but the frost bomb still does a ton of damage. Just go bear form for a second. Bar skin into a silence. Lock it out, Young, completely. This could be an opportunity for you to have a big go. Ursul's with a silence is huge. It's so much CC. And there's going to be a knock up real quick for a second. I think by Omega's Starburst, wasn't it? Just got regrows. Trying to see if he can bait Young from behind the pillar, I think. Trying to see if we can get him to come out of there. Friends of regen for just a second, I think. Or a roar. Trying to go for another stun. Will not have an answer. No, he does have a trinket. Bear formed it. He's just living. He's just sort of hoping and praying the bear form will be enough. Frostbomb does not feel good at all, though. Frostbomb hurts a lot. Hold on a second. Omega! Heart of the Wild, Friends of Regen, just trying to see if he can fuel himself back up to full health. Can he do it? Looking for regrows, but he just needs to make sure he gets himself some kind of a defensive setup. I think at some point he just got to go super aggressive. Should be aware of the altar. I think at some point he just got to go aggro. I don't know if he can follow up. Barskin on breath. Ray of Frost does get a silence. Is this where you just go dammy? No, I don't think you can. Just still trying to recover. 46% dampening is definitely not going to help him here. Catches a reset here though. Hold on a second. A re-stealth could get him potentially set up. Wait a second. Wait a moment. As Young Fool Ursul sitting on him, shifting power right after. Omega does try to see if he can get himself some kind of like a positional go here. Incarnation proc, I think it is. Unless he actually just pressing Karn on his own. I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure. Ultra is next to him though, so he could be in a bad spot potentially. I think he did mean to press that Incarnation. I don't know if he meant to like pop a mushroom onto Young just to add an extra dot damage for him to deal with. But he gets like random moments of just like pressure onto Young. Like Young's health was actually kind of dipping a little bit there for a second. With the that little Fade Dragon doing additional damage too. He got images. Trying to see if he can maybe Ring of Frost something. I think he's just trying to deal with the pets, right? Is that what you're doing? Ring of Frost and the pets? Because he's looking at his health is just kind of depleting little by little. It's not like he's doing anything special. Omega just put some dots on the guy. Try to go for silence. Does not get an interrupt or anything. Does go for a roar. Walking out of that stun. Power shifting just to make sure he can get away. Continuing just to keep the pressure rolling in on him best possible. I think what it is might be Fury of a Loon random procs on the Young. That's what might be melting him little by little. That and Moonfire, Sunfire damage does go for Ursul, so you can't even blink. Just kind of locked him in place. Into a little bit of shifting power. I think at some point he just needs to come out and do some damage too. He has Incarn available, so maybe just make something happen off of that Incarn, Fury of a Loon. That is a big meteor. Omega does survive it. Instacast back to back, trying to see if he can take down Young. Is going to go behind the pillar. Regrow spamming while standing in the meteor is not really going to do much for you. But you do have that extra pet attacking Young. So if you can get that random Fury of a Loon, I think he's got a random proc. I think Young is just dead. I think he's just dead. I think it's over. Hold on, that little pet. He got a shield. Is that pet gonna do anything? It is blasting him. Little by little. I kept thinking like, wait, hold on a second. It's over? But it's not over. Ring of Frost? No trinket. I was gonna say, if Young gets the biggest turnaround here, that'd be the funniest thing ever. Does get himself a little bit of health, knock back into Omega. That is gonna be Ursus. That's gonna eventually yoink you. You can walk too far away from it. Shift and power just to get some cooldowns back. You can't go for a stun combo. I don't know if your health will allow for it. Oh, back to... Dude, just walking through mushrooms, random procs of a loon, and just sunfire, moonfire, and like that little fey dragon just attacking you, pelting you down. We're gonna be up next to the Jester Warlock. Hold on, if Omega makes it past Rick too, that'd be wild. Sitting down for some mage food, looking for a bit of recovery. That is gonna be succubus swinging around the corner. As long as you're Moonkin form though, it shouldn't catch you, but as long as you switch out of form. Yeah, it's gonna hurt a little bit. Is he is a Diabolus actually, so he's gonna have to hard cast a lot of his spells. Omega can actually rot down the pet really quickly. Hold on a second. Wait, that thing might, yeah, he's gonna have to kill rocket back. So this might not be the worst. Hold on, Omega might just be able to like play him out this time. Might actually just be able to do the same thing he did with the mage and just let the dot damage and damage over time really do a lot of work. Wait, in Boomkin form you can still get hit by Succubus CC? I guess Boomkin is a humanoid, not really a beast, is it? Try to go for sound so the Rick does not quite connect. Does go for a bear form for a second, roar right after. He's gonna be tricking out of Rick immediately. Omega, I don't know how you're gonna live this. Does go for reversals. Rick just pops in a Dark Pact. Omega just gotta find a way to live. He does have Incarn. Hoping to maybe get, I think, damage through on that Shubara. Is that what's happening? Reflect for a moment. I think Omega might just go down, actually. I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure. Chaos Bolt? Oh. That's a quick cast Chaos Bolt done. Into a full-on Pit Lord and an Overlord? I don't know if Rick wins this. I don't know if Rick wins this. That is a full-on Spell Warden. He got ports. I don't know if he's got a gateway again. Or if he can even... He can use a gateway. Hold on a second. If he goes for like a big Succubus CC chain onto Saya, he just pressed Spell Warden. If you get yourself another double Chaos Bolt combo, maybe you can make something work. Rick is melting behind the pillar though. That is a short stun. Shadow Fury into Saya. Does get himself Bolt. Fear. Bolt. Bubble. That's over. It's over. Unless you like reflect the Hodge back at Saya. Ah. Oh, maybe that could have worked actually. You know, Saya usually delays the Hodge and doesn't immediately hit with it. That time he did. I wonder if he could have popped reflect. Reflected a Hodge, waited out Bubble, hit him with a Mortar Coil, Fear, and then maybe Double Bolt. Possibly. Who knows them. Let's get another one going, boys. Flush and Johnny, let me know when you boys are ready. We'll get another one going. I like that, man. That's quite a bit of variety. Looks like another of all these buttons. Oh, all good, all good. Yeah, Shaman's a lot of buttons to play with, man. A lot of buttons. We're gonna need a +1, looks like, for Johnny boy. Yeah, need one of us. Pass me lead and I'll take care of all of it, bud. Thank you, thank you. We need one of Moz boys, one more to join us in a 5v5 1v1 duels. I'm getting hungry, man. So let's do like last game and I'll go get food. What spec would you suggest? Now I'm looking for a new main and join both. Yo, Steph, what classes are you looking for? Between Demon Hunter and Locke, would you suggest for SS and Blizz? Are you talking about me or talking about Wes? If you're talking about me, I think there's Destro has definitely been having a hard time in SS and Blitz. You get interrupted a lot. I've been saying Demonology Warlock, but I think Affliction could probably do really well too. I'm biased, I mean Demo. Yeah, I know the Destro has been Destro Warlocks have been talking a lot about how they can't ever get a cast off, so probably Affy or Demo. Demo could be really good, but they don't really have any kind of like kicks. A lot of the axe tosses they use basically for stuns. I mean, you would kick when you can, but can't always. No clone of Bachelor Wing talents for Bliss. Dude, actually, it was working out really well. But yeah, we can definitely give you another shot. Definitely can give you another shot. Team fights on a basis. DH. Oh, DHs are really good in BG Blitz in particular. I agree with you on that. Got back 2 minutes. Okay. Yeah, go for it. Well, I get a... Do I book a lemon? He's in Silver Sharp Mines, man. He's out there in the mines. Bayek? Hey... Bayek. Wanna join... That's actually too many paladins for one team, isn't it? We only got Saya. We don't need more paladins, do we? Or should I steal my Bayek? What do you guys think? I'm trying to give you guys a bit of variety here. I think Pally's a little rough. Roween? Roween is a Robodrome already. Solix is an undermine. Simon? I don't remember if Simon duels. Let's see. Alex is still in battle for Desire Lore. Hawaiian Pride is Mokabala. So these guys do PvP. They just, I don't remember if they're doing duels ever. As well, and its main thing, Soul Shuffle. Yeah, SS would be Soul Shuffle. Blitz and Soul Shuffle. I guess some people will call it like solo queue maybe. Don't play? You don't play solo shuffles? Saya? What do you mean? You don't? Nope. Huh. I guess paladins haven't had the easiest time in solo shuffles recently, so that's fair. I need 2 or 2 3 with the healers or raid boss. Ah, okay. With the F healers as a raid boss. I don't like it. I feel ya. I feel ya. So what do you do? Blitz then? You just blitz all day? I guess blitz would be a lot better for Paladino. I hope for only DPS mode someday. Blitz, yeah. Paladins have actually like a base camp blitz mode or like a team fight builds and stuff. I feel that. Yeah, a full DPS only 2v2s I think could be kind of fun in the future. It'd be super fun to have that at some point. Let me ask if Alex was joining. Hey, wanna join? I'll ask him. NA, sure. I don't remember what that guy is, but what the hell is Winter Grasp? Is that the big BG, the big epic BG? Or is that the zone Winter Grasp? We just need one more body. Be good to go. Plus already? Beautiful. I still need a +1. I'll ask Inator. See what he says. Both, I think. I'll ask either way. That base is going to 1-1 me too. Yeah, Pallies, that's all they really have is when it comes to builds. Is they either have like a base setting build, or like a team fight build. But at least they got like, yeah, and I feel like in a BG Blitz, I feel like this is where a lot more classes and specs can really like shine. Right? As an Outlaw Rogue guy, I said bases or I cap bases, I'm a lot better at just taking stuff with my 4 grapple hooks. I'm not great at running flags just because rogues are squishy, but when it comes to taking a flag from A to B, that definitely can be helpful. I usually would grab one, or I'm really good at I'm really good at Eye of the Storm in most cases, because I usually go for either Draenor Runes or Fel Reaver, and with 4 grapples, like I usually can stop a cap. It's super fun, and then I usually revert back to sitting a base or something, playing defense. Okay, and they wouldn't be able to join in, so we're still good on the Moz boys. But yeah, I think in solos, there's BG Blitz, there's definitely a lot more opportunity for like classes to shine in more ways than just damage. I'll make you there. Yeah, exactly. Well, usually like, I don't even need to like be there to like cap the base. In most cases, like at the start of a match, if I can just delay them from taking a base, usually like a demon hunter or like a healer will come by and it just stops the team from being able to cap the base to begin with. So yeah, in most cases I don't even need to cap it. I just need to like stop them from being able to cap, and as long as someone rotates, they usually don't get the base. Doesn't matter who is there. I got one. Yeah, if you want to suggest one, there we go. Yeah. Hell yeah, boys. Let's go. Leo, back to lead. We're gonna get another one going here. Last one for the night, boys. Last one for the night. I'm gonna send you into a... The hell am I gonna send you? I think we've done all of them, right? Done every single map. Should we try like an Asher main or something? Now let's try another hook point. Yeah, that seems to set the back of foot. Yeah, I feel like even one of those like little plays like that in Blitz, because they're so fast, even a little play like that and hold it for like a minute, not let him capture for a minute, like you make so much progress in that type of mode. It is crazy. Ah, we sent. Hopefully we get it. One more in the hook point, boys. Uno mas. Here we are. Alrighty, boys. Have fun with this last one. Put it on. What am I trying to say? Put all the chips on the table. Are we missing one for each team? Hopefully they're still loading in. Hopefully they're just taking a sweet time. Good switch. Got ourselves Saya over for the team 1. Every team got somebody loading in. You got the weapon in chat? Yeah. Is that in season 2 or that season 1? I think it's season 1. Looks so good. Leo on that team. We got ourselves a Mega. We got ourselves Shinigami. We got ourselves yes. Or yes. Okay, I got the name. It took me a second. I'm like, for some reason I thought it was eyes for a second. Can't read, man. But it's actually no, hold on. The name is actually not yes. It's yes. I'm dumb, dude. I'm dumb. DFA out for Blush, looking to land a big eviscerator Leo, but the shatters out of the Death Knight do turn us around. I was just giggling there like an idiot. An absolute idiot. I wasn't watching what was going on here. Death, DFA, huh? I like it. I like the plays with it. It could have done a lot of damage. Actually, it would be able to do a lot. Mies, we got us as Young, we got us as Sham, we got Rick, and Rick is going to be up next as a demonology this time around, not Destra. But for Leo, I think a Sub-Rogue is like one of the best setups in that kind of like a matchup. Like last duel of the night, this is the guy you want to start off with. That's a tough one, man. That's a toughie. 3.5 hit for DFA. Let's go, dude. Yo, last season, actually, hold on a second. Last season, that number would have been big. I feel like this season, did that number not scale? Did they nerf eviscerates? I feel like last season, 3 mil hits on DFAs, or maybe that's an Venom DFA with assassination. Either way, that is a lot of damage. That is a lot of damage. The Death Knight, though, does end up surviving it narrowly, however. Blind onto Rick is going to be a tricky to follow. Trying to see if he can slow him down with the Death of Decay. He's going to go for a grip, but a port grip into another port. Or gateway, rather, into a grip, into a port. If I actually have to break it down proper, it's going to be a Mortar Coil right after into a Dark Pack. Rick trying to see if he can go for a proper setup with a Tyrant. Is going to get silenced out for Leo. Locking out that silence on the Tyrant is huge, but his soul ripped out of his body does mean he's doing a lot less damage, a lot less healer. Big damage onto Rick for a second, but he does pop a Warlock Hellstone, picking up all the health. Bat still in play, still doing a ton, still got himself a proper Tyrant. It's just a lot of damage to deal with, man. Way too much damage all at once. With the Mega going to be up next. Trying to see if he can go for a quick bash, got himself a couple of dots here. Are you back to playing into a full-on Illusion Chosen? I think he might be, actually. I think he might just be. I think it might just be. Does go for a quick port, looking for a Summon Gloomhound, but the dots are actually wrecking right through him right now. Hold on a second. Mortal Coil does end up connecting. Big Demon Bolt doing a bit of damage. There's going to be Star Search sent right back. Omega does go for a Barskin. Dark Pact out for Rick. As Omega trying to see if he can get back over there really quickly. I'm swapping the wrong targets now. Uh-oh. Is it going to be Fear? Can't really stop it. Does he get the good line of sight? Does not. Axe House. And it's going to be good luck down by Rick with yet another Fear. The dot damage is actually melting through Rick's defenses. It is going to go for a Starfall, melting the pets, but also doing a lot of raw damage to Rick, but might just go down. And Rick does end up turning it around. It was a lot of damage out for the Boomkin. Lots of Starfall, but the damage... You're trying to think to melt down Rick little by little. Starfall, dots, Moonfire, Soundfire, shooting stars, while trying to stay as mobile as possible. But it just wasn't quite enough. Yeah, yes, is gonna be up next. Full Ray of Frost does melt it for a second. Me's trying to see if he can get himself full Blizzard around the corner. Does connected. Vanish out for the Rogue, looking for eviscerates. But Mike gets stunned up unless he's careful. Gouge for a moment, does get stunned. Tricking for tricking. Block out for Mies. Yes, still does end up taking the meteor either way. Cheap shot immediately as soon as he breaks out of a block. Looking for another lockdown. Is it enough? I'm swapping the wrong targets now. Looking for a massive eviscerate. Does get it, but a flurry is. Oh, the Rogue. Barely alive. But does end up surviving it, though narrowly. Blizzard around the corner. Does get to avoid it. Ring of Frost is up. Mies with a bit of shifting power. Knows the Rogue cannot get too close. Might be able to sit down for some food. The Rogue could just step on him, though. Rogue could just step in the middle, but the Rogue ain't doing it. Actually sees the Rogue. I think he might have saw the Rogue behind the pillar for a second. Knows the Rogue is going to go for a reset. I think he knows. I think he knows. Or just kind of hoping that the Rogue isn't on him. Maybe he didn't see the Rogue behind the pillar eating. But the Rogue does catch up a full one. Full reset for him. I originally went back to Xerath Mortis to get some of the mounts. Mostly trying to get the mount for the whole expansion completionist achievement. I don't think I've ever gotten the spider one. I might need to go back and look. But I don't think I've ever gotten that mount. I also don't like the look of any of the Xerath Mortis mounts. I feel like I just don't like the zone. And anything Xerath Mortis, I'm just like, yeah. I don't like it. Just because it's Xerath. Just because it's Shadowlands. Stun? Does he get a proper go? Oh, this might just be a big lockdown by the mage. Oh, just needed one more. The Rogue Shadow stepped out of it. But when he stepped out, only his soul stepped out of his body. The body was over. Body was done. Body was frozen. Turned into a block of ice. Holy. Shinigami trying to see if he can get himself a proper go himself as well. It's going to be a breath on the Mies. Bit of a rematch between these two. Immediate block. Insta block. Insta go. Trinket out for Shinigami. Landing a quick kick. What is that aggressive block, dude? Mies just trying to end Shinigami right here, right now. Why he's got shields. That is going to reflect a decent bit of damage. Not as heavy as it was at the beginning. But it's 100% damage reflected. It's like 60 right now. But still is a massive shield either way. But Shinny does get himself yet another shield that is going to reverse some damage back to Mies. But he's still able to power on right through it. Quite a decent bit. Looking for a frost bomb. Big shatter combo. Shinigami is going to have to block. He's going to be cauterized. Definitely going to be caught. Oh, wait. No, he doesn't even get caught. Wait, what? Wait, what? This is just like caught and then explode immediately for all his health bar? Oh, Mies is just dead. What was that mage damage? What was that mage damage? Unless he caught it super, super early some way, somehow. But I don't think he did. Did he? Young gonna walk up to ONYXIA, who is the last one standing. The last man standing. This is gonna be a full-on shatter combo on him with a big explosive. The frost bomb explosions are huge. They're so good. I feel like it allows mages to get like a much cleaner lineup with the full combos that they do. The shatter combos and everything. I don't know how I get the camera to dislodge like this, but we're just gonna roll with it, right? Just gonna roll with it. Blinks out for the mage. Does get a polymorph onto ONYXIA. Looking for a proper setup. There's a frost bomb and everything. He's not walking up to stun him. He's just trying to see if he can do some damage from range. That is going to be Spell Warden. So for Young, that could potentially be a trade with the Ice Block. And is going to trade a block. Actually, blocking while high on health may not be the worst. Dampening is rolling in at 35% though. So this may not be the worst move, honestly. Blocking while high. Does get himself a blink. Almost avoiding the Dawn Light, but not quite. Looking for a poly. Does not get a poly. Definitely needs to be very careful with the shields. Definitely needs to get the corners and line of sight angles against side to land those polys. Breath connect. Poly. You do have a ultra time that's going to reset you. Does get a full freeze into ONYXIA. He's just going to back up out of there for a second. Side does end up burning a trinket for it. So that's a pretty decent trade actually for Young. That's a burst. That's got some cooldowns out of him. All you got to do is live. You just got to live a little longer. So you got to find a way to get a bubble out of ONYXIA, I think. Second block. That is a little rough though, because now you're a little bit behind on cooldowns. That's immunity that ONYXIA is going to have that you won't down. Unless you know you can get yourself some kind of a decent setup to force and bubble out of him right here, right there. Maybe, possibly. Dropping down a bit of damage. No meteor to follow up though. Does himself a lot of comments just rolling in. But it's quite a bit of damage with ONYXIA. Pelting away, plinking away at his health little by little. Might be enough, maybe. ONYXIA has a line of sight. I think it was to go for like a Hodge, maybe. Yeah, maybe Hodge. Ultra is available. The Young should be A-okay. Gastos with cooldowns rolling in. That's going to be huge for him. He's going to get a bubble out of Saya. That's going to be immediate bubble. Yep. But now you're a little bit behind on health and you're in a rough spot. Maybe Sham could bring it back. Maybe this was an opportunity for you just to crack through those defenses to see if you could take down the Sham. Possibly. Maybe. Saya trying to see if he can get himself. What can he do? Lay on hands? That's about it. Sham, you only got one thing to burn through, man. Only one got item to burn through. One item in the inventory. Stun immediately onto Sham. Try to see if you can get on top of Saya. Sprinted after him, but the Pally got plenty of movement, man. The NASCAR, the horse, it is trucking along. That's a lot of horsepower in just a one seed. Full healing out for Saya. He's actually playing it very, very defensively. Just trying to see if he can live. That is a wall out for Sham. Sham no longer has a trinket though. So now for Saya, there's a window. There's a window where you might be able to make something happen. Don't have a Hodge for a second. But the Spell Warden or Searing Glare is going to reverse set it back on him. Sham needs to have a go at some point though. Knock Saya out. Lay on hand still possible. Still very, very possible for Saya. Unless you just burst him down before you can get himself a proper go. Might just have to. He got some Primordial Storm. This might be the play. Stun. Oh, it doesn't matter what. Saya was stunned, but Sham just got melted to the dots. Paladins, man. Herald is real good. That dot absolutely wrecks right through you. That's crazy. Oh, that one, boys. I gotta call it. That was the last one for me. I gotta get some food. Hey, what's up, Great Scott? What's your video on 11.15? Are we actually getting into your chips? So Blizzard said initially that the chips are gonna be a 11.15 feature. Hey, is that? Yeah, we are done for the night, gang. GG's. 10% debuff is that said, buddy? I gotta shoot. Okay, yeah, go for it, man. Go for it. GG's. I gotta get some food and some work done. Yeah, we're all for the night. Yeah, so they said that initially they said in a review that they are transferring the dinar or the chips to 11.15, and they said that they have more to talk about once the patch arrives. All assumptions are they're gonna mention them. They're probably gonna bring them in as 11.15. They're probably gonna state exactly when they're gonna be coming out. There at some point, because we're getting to the point where we are starting to get pretty geared on our characters, and at some point they remove the cap on Gilded Crest, remove the cap on Conquest, remove the cap on all currencies, and that's probably when they're gonna bring in the NAR chips at the same time. They said it will be something that'll be available at the same time. If they wanted to delay it, I feel like they would have just said like, yeah, we're delaying them until 11.17, or we're actually not gonna bring him in, right? Because there would have been an opportunity. I think they're just kind of trying to make it like a, I don't know. I think they're trying to make it like an update that'll happen, like it'll be enabled at a specific time. Because it's part of 11.05, it's a big catch-up patch. Yeah, it's a big catch-up patch, so it just assumed. Initially, there was worries like they wouldn't even have the NAR chips when we initially brought it, initially they wanted to add the NAR chips as part of the cartel during like week 17 and 19 of the raid. We're like on week 8 or something with that renowned progress. But then they were like, all right, we'll actually bring him in once 11.15 comes around. And they're adding a lot of ways to catch up on 11.15. Like if they had an opportunity to say, yeah, we're actually not gonna do dinars, or we're gonna have them in like 11.17 or something. Assumptions right now are 11.15. I mean, if they even broke a silence to mention them, saying we'll talk about them once the new patch hits, that means they probably have some kind of like something planned for 11.15 that probably we didn't see on PTR. Very likely. Wouldn't be surprised. Maybe it's going to be some kind of like an additional quest line, because it says like there's unusual cartel chips, and then we have like, you know, whole story quest lines, what looks like with the ethereals. So what if it's like some kind of ethereal link cartel chip after you do some storyline and you start fighting these ships in places, and then you could trade it to the cartels. What if it's not even goblin cartels, right? What if it's like ethereal cartels? Who knows? No idea. But I think if they said if they said we're not gonna do them, I think they would have said we're not gonna do them. But they keep teasing him. I think they just try not to spoil everything. But yeah, right now it is assumed they're probably coming out. That's a general community assumption. And I feel like they do plenty of stuff to like correct the record. If there's like a general assumption, they usually would come out and be like, yeah, no, actually we're not doing it. They haven't done it though. Really appreciate it. Yeah. We'll know more once 11.5 comes out, but no positive vibes on it. It looks like it's very, very likely. Maybe I'm proven wrong, right? Maybe Blizzard will come out and actually would be like, actually will give us soul-crushing news after 11.5 comes out. I just don't know why that would be good for them to do that. Like what kind of strategy that would be. I feel like if you are going to be like, hey, actually we're backpedaling on dinars, we're not going to have them, they would have done it way earlier. Right? Way earlier. But yeah. But they see like a lot of people are excited for dinars. Like it's a huge opportunity. So like why wouldn't they do it? Plus, like normally they do it towards the tail end of the patch, but like people want to see them as part of like a seasonal thing, right? Gives you an opportunity to really gear a character, get your best of slots. If you got really unlucky with gear, now you can finally finish out a character, play as the best of slot character for the season. Yeah. I don't know, right? And new trinkets? Yeah, I feel you, I feel you. Yeah, being able to get like House of Cards or even Aya Kazan or Moxie trinkets, that's huge. Or even Rick Reverb trinket got a lot better recently. Yeah, yeah. Or the healer trinket from Lock and Stock on Mythic. Best of slot. Yeah, stuff like that, man. I think it's actually looks like if they pull it off and they actually make like a dinar type of like cartel chip thing for every season afterwards, right? It's like, okay, we got Hall of Fame closed out, 200 guilds killed the boss. We're adding a bunch of catch-up elements like uncaps on gilded, so you can just max out a character in one sitting if you want to, you know, craft a bunch of gear, whatever. Like when they enabled all those things to enable cartel chips on top of it, or like a dinar style token, you know, for every season, I think it'd be awesome. Because it's like now I can go finish out my character, get everything I want, or gear my ults, get the best of the best slots gear on those characters. You know what I mean? Now I can go push Mythic plus dungeons. Now I can have some fun. Or if you never killed Galley, now you have the best of the best gear, so you have an easier time killing Galley. As they'll continue nerfing these bosses over the next few weeks, I imagine. But yeah. Then I save this one. 595, 6, 7. 597. Beautiful. You guys have a wonderful though. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Super fun hanging out with all of you for duels. Tomorrow we got duels over on the region of NA. But yeah, you guys have a wonderful, wonderful evening. I'm checking myself. Thank you so much for watching. You guys have a good one. I enjoyed the hell out of these duels, dude. Saya, dude. Them Herald and the Sun Pally buffs are juice, man. Absolute juice, man. The actual dot damage, pretty good, honestly. Between the Sun's avatar, popping up, man. Loving it. You guys have a wonderful one. I'll catch you next stream. Peace.
Take me by your side. If I'm feeling so alive, I feel so alive, yeah. Have a long deep dive until you arrive and finally